Phones don't work as well. Yeah.
Odessa Permian here. They are a football town.
Okay. So he started streaming.
Yeah.
So as soon as that says 20:00, I'm going to go ahead and bring our mics up. They can't hear us now, but they can hear the ambient.
Can we take that sportsmanship to the next two levels?
Joe Clark's here, Dave. Okay, it's time. All right, ready? Hello, football fans, and welcome to this special playoff edition of Lamar Viking Varsity Football, brought to you by the Lamar Viking Football Booster Club. I'm Bill Frawley, along with Steve Langford, bringing you the play-by-play and color commentary. Also in the booth this afternoon are Charlie Frawley, former Viking student-athlete, David Frawley, current student-athlete at Lamar, and Justin Langford, helping with spotting and stats. Our executive producer, Jay Wright, is at the production headquarters bunker back in Arlington, Texas. We're coming to you live from Wildcat Stadium on the campus of Abilene Christian University in beautiful Abilene, Texas. It's a beautiful afternoon for football. Temperature, I believe, is in the 60s. We'll get a verification of that. Might even be hitting 70. Just a few wispy clouds up in the sky. There is a pretty good wind coming out of what appears to be the west. I'm still getting my bearings a little bit here, but it's a fairly strong wind, at least up where the flagpoles are. Now the ground, or the field, sits just a little bit below ground level. There's a complete bowl almost around, partly open. It's 72 degrees. Thanks, Steve. By the way, Steve, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Our beautiful day, ready for some football.
Man, it's great to be having playoff football Thanksgiving weekend. You drove in from Arlington or Mansfield with Justin today. How was y'all's drive down I-20?
Let it ride on along. Try to stay out of the way of the traffic.
There you go. Well, we came in, Charlie and Dave and I, we had a family gathering down in Austin. So I want to say hello in case they're listening yet. My family gathering that we abandoned for the day down in Austin, Texas. We drove up through Central Texas, had some of that great Cooper's barbecue for brunch in Llano. We know how to do it right, and got up here. And you could tell as we got closer, the wind was just a little bit strong.
Yeah, it was a headwind all the way for us. And you could tell some of the trucks and things were struggling just a little.
Okay, and so just communicating a little bit with some text messages with Jay back in there as we hopefully get our technical stuff worked out here. So now, okay. All right, so sorry for some of the pauses. We're getting set here, trying to get all the tweaks out of the way here. The Permian band is out on the field right now doing some of their pregame stuff. We've got about 17 minutes to kick off. And so just to kind of paint the picture for you a little bit, this is almost a brand new stadium. It opened 1 year ago when Abilene Christian moved into Division II status for NCAA football. And it's a nice stadium. It seats 12,500. So to give some perspective, that's 500 seats more than Maverick Stadium at UTA. It seats 12,000. Now the seats are more spread out on the visitors area, and that's where Lamar, we're the designated visiting team for today's game. Permian coming in from Odessa, the designated home team, because they actually tied for first place, a three-way tie for first place in their district. So to give you a little more perspective on the stadium, Cravens, if you're kind of curious, seats 8,000 with 4,000 seats on each side. Now, Permian comes from Ratliff Stadium, 18,000 seats. So they're used to a pretty big venue and sometimes some big crowds.
Well, Dale, Permian is indeed a football school, and as can be reflected by the audience that's here, the size of their band. They're ready for some football.
Yeah, it's common to have well over 300 members in that Permian band, and that's one of those things that never really seems to wane. It's always a big, strong, powerful group. There is a great crowd from Permian over on this home side, kind of a sparse crowd so far from Lamar, so hopefully those who aren't able to be at the stadium, hopefully a lot of y'all are listening in right now. So this is the area round of 6A Division I playoffs. 32 teams remaining in the hunt for the state championship. 4 teams from each district, of course, make it into the playoffs, with the 2 largest schools going to Division I and the 2 smaller schools going to Division II. Permian and Amarillo-Tascosa are the District 2 representatives in Division I, and then Lamar and Arlington High are Lamar and Martin were the Division I, and Martin is already out of the playoffs now. So how'd they get here? Well, Permian, again, the designated home team, they finished in a 3-way tie for the District 2 championship with Amarillo, Tascosa, and Midland Lee. Lamar finished second in District 4 behind Arlington High, who gave the Vikings their only loss of the season. Now, the Colts are taking on Amarillo, Tascosa at 5 o'clock today over in Wichita Falls, a little bit north of here, up on the Red River. Now, so a little bit up, we've got the national anthem going on right now. Well, I'm not sure how well the ambient sound is working, and at the risk of talking over the national anthem, it sounds like we're kind of coming in and out of the national anthem on the broadcast.
Switch on that mic.
Well, so the national anthem is finished now. We'll just see if we can get you some ambient sound. I had it at one point earlier, I thought, but in the meantime, we're going to focus on making sure you can hear us and paint the picture of the game for you. So a little bit more. Now, the Vikings, of course, bring that 10-1 record into this area-round game, having defeated the San Angelo Central Bobcats 55-14 last week at Cravens Field in Arlington. The Panthers bring in an 8-3 record into the game with losses this season to DeSoto, big powerful team, South Lake Carroll, another powerhouse, and Midland Lee. Now, coincidentally, DeSoto and Carroll are playing this week in the playoffs. The Panthers beat El Paso Coronado last Friday night at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, 42-0. And that's a game, Steve, they led 35-0 at halftime.
Wow.
They put in second and third stringers and took their feet off the gas and only scored 7 in the second half. And here's just one of these things. Now, I am going to give the full disclosure. I graduated from Permian in 1983, but I am a Viking fan today. But I got to tell you, some of these Permian facts are pretty interesting. That was the 26th time Permian and Coronado had played. Permian is 25-0-1. They've never lost to them. So now something else to note earlier this week, Permian's going through some more transition. Their head coach, Blake Felt, left 4 weeks before preseason practice started to become the executive director of athletics over in Midland, 20 miles away.
That was a little bit of a trick.
Now, of course, he was from Midland, so we got to give him that.
Okay.
But yeah, he did go back home, so to speak. But still, you leave Permian for something in Midland, and well, there's still the rivalry out there. But Jeff Ellison just became then the interim head coach, moved up from offensive line and assistant coach. And but now Saturday morning, right after they beat El Paso Coronado, he was promoted to officially be the full head coach now.
They proved himself with a good season.
Definitely so. Now Lamar and Permian both have rich playoff histories. Permian opened its doors in 1959 and promptly made it to the playoffs 1 year later. And in 59 years, listen to this, the Panthers have made it to the playoffs 36 seasons. And they often go deep in postseason play. They've made it to the state championship game 11 times. Wow. And they've had 6 state championships, and they were the runner-up 5 times, and then 5 other times they made it to the semifinals and not beyond. So almost half the times they've made the playoffs, they've made it at least to semifinals. In the 48 years that Lamar's been open, the Vikings have made it to the playoffs 27 times. They lost in the state championship game in 1990 to Aldine and lost in the semifinals to John Tyler back in 2000. But you know, Steve, history is history. And this year, I think if there's ever a time for Permian to kind of have a tough time with Lamar, this is the year. They've met up 4 times previous to today, all in playoffs, all won by Permian. But this Lamar team, of all the ones I've seen in the 25 years of living in Arlington now, has a unique feel to it. And I think this is the time that they might be able to take this. And I'll go through some stuff at the end of our pregame here in a few minutes. But they're clicking on all 3 cylinders. And Steve, you've seen that this season.
It's been an exciting season to watch them score. They've stretched out some of their scoring drives to just under 2 minutes, but they've scored less than 30 seconds too. So they are a fun, exciting team to watch.
Yes, indeed they are. And so I'm going to get back to some kind of the history stuff. But well, I guess what I was trying to say is, in spite of history, you know, who's made to the playoffs, who's won more of that. It's a whole new ballgame when you get these 2 teams that these 2 specific groups of players have never met before. And so it all starts over here. I want to take a look at the Permian offense, and we'll take a look at the Lamar offense. A lot of similarities between the Panthers and the Vikings. Both have a very balanced offense with several weapons in the running and passing games. Now, Permian primarily uses a triple option-based offense, but they'll also spread things out at times and throw deep. Their starting quarterback, Peyton Powell, transferred to Permian from a private school this year, and he's already committed to the University of Texas. He's completed 77 out of 135 passes for 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. Now, his primary target is going to be Justin Hammond, who has 39 receptions and 756 yards and 11 TDs. Tyler Ramage, Mason Sellers, and Caden Horrell all have between 250 and 350 yards with 3 or 4 touchdowns each. And they have a few others with 1 play.
Well, the good news about that is you spread it out.
That's true.
You're not dependent upon one man.
That's it. Now, their leading rusher is Ed Williams, now, which is interesting because who's the leading rusher for Lamar? Jordan Williams. So we're going to be saying Williams, the ball carrier, quite a bit today, no matter who's on offense. Ed Williams has carried the ball 222 times. That's a workhorse for 1,336 yards and 18 touchdowns. He averages 6 yards per carry every time he carries the ball. And the rushing workload is shared by Justin Hammond with 65 carries, 469 yards, and 3 TDs. Their quarterback, Peyton Powell, has kept it 66 times, 460 yards, 7 TDs. And then Caden Horrell with 37 carries, 217 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Steve, every time one of those 5 players has 4 players touch the ball, between 6 and 7.2 yards per carry. So the Lamar defense is going to be tested very well.
Justin Hammond is that second leading ground receiver, and he's a wide receiver. So that means that they're running that sweep quite a bit, wide receiver sweep.
Yes, they'll do that for sure. So we'll look for Permian to sometimes run hard up the middle, along with those sweeps you talk about, and then sometimes they're going to go deep with some aerial attacks. Now, the Lamar Viking offense, let's look at these a little bit. The Vikings have kept their opponents and on their toes and often on their heels with a spread offense, using an arsenal of receivers and running backs. And, of course, the extremely talented Jack Dawson at quarterback. There's a lot of depth on that Viking offense, as we all know. When there's 2 running backs in the backfield with Dawson, it's anyone's guess, Steve, who's going to take the ball. We've seen, you and I have been fooled at times up here in the booth on those zone reads.
Yes. And Dawson's just a junior.
Yes.
So he's pulling in on some passing records, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, because he started as a sophomore, so this is his second full season, and he's getting close to some AISD season passing records, along with the quarterback over at Arlington High. They're chasing Shane Buechele, I believe. So now when quarterback Jack Dawson's on the field, one thing I've noticed, he's a true leader, and as a person in general, but also on that field. And he's completed 122 out of 210 passes for 2,174 yards and 34 touchdowns. So it's pretty often to say balls in the air, it's caught, and touchdown for Lamar, Now, of course, his main targets are Trayvon West and Isaiah Nair. West has 36 catches for 795 yards. So real similar to that main catch receiver for Permian at 15 TDs, and then Nair has 30 receptions, 683 yards and 6 TDs.
In the last several games, though, Cam Brady has been stepping up. Cam is a sophomore, and when Trey was out with that injury, Cam became a go-to guy.
Definitely so, and that's what, again, about the depth that we have on offense in both receivers and getting another little message here about some of our technical stuff as we keep going. Thank you, Jay Ryan, our executive producer in the bunker in Arlington. But yeah, Cam Brady has stepped in, and I think if I have it correct, he's got 24 catches for 452 yards and 7 TDs. You know, and I talked a minute ago about that impressive yards per carry for Permian. Well, let's check out our offensive running game. Jordan Williams leads the way. He's averaging 9.5 yards per carry. And look, that's not just with a few. That's 158 times he's carried the ball. 1,541 yards, 18 touchdowns. And then Cedric Davis has stepped up 241 yards, 3 TDs. Jack Dawson's kept the ball 53 times, 216 yards. Caleb Phillips of late stepping into the game, getting some playing time when those starters are getting a chance to rest with the big leads. You know,
Caleb's that more bruising running back.
Yeah, he's averaging 7 yards a carry.
Is he really?
Yeah. Wow. Dawson, 4.5 yards. Remember, that includes if he gets sacked once in a while. And then Cedric Davis, 5.2 yards. That Lamar offense, 48.6 points per game. They're almost hanging half 100 on the average. So that's incredible. Well, let's take a little bit of look at the defense here. Let's see. So the Panthers have been giving quarterbacks trouble all season. Steve, they have sacked quarterbacks 25 times this season. So they know how to get in there, get past an offensive line, and give some fits and give some trouble. Now, they also they're a gritty bunch of guys, the Permian Panthers. They play a full 4 quarters, and I went out to that South Lake Carroll game, and they did not give up, and they almost came back and won that one. But Tanner Adams, we're going to be calling his name quite a bit, 73 tackles, 3 interceptions. Andy Notley's going to be another common name, 65 tackles and 2 sacks. Cameron Martinez, 57 tackles. So now Matt Jones, that's the one our offensive line's going to have to watch for. He has 11 sacks on the season. That's 1 a game. Wow. Chase Dell leads with 5 interceptions. They know how to pick off some passes, so we're going to have to watch out for that as well. So the Permian defense will be definitely going to challenge Lamar's offensive line and quarterback. Now, looking at Lamar's defense, the Viking defense has given up a meager 16 points per game, including 3 shutouts. They've allowed more than 14 points only 3 times so far. And in fact, of course, they held San Angelo Central to 14 points back in the first round of the playoffs. Expect the Vikings, I think, to key on Powell at quarterback, applying pressure as much as possible while trying to contain him. And of course, those mojo running backs, we're going to have to work on them. As you said earlier, Steve, those jet receiver sweeps around the end. And they're doing the coin toss at midfield. I'm going to interrupt myself here for a moment.
Deshaun Gay, Dawson.
Simone Foster.
Out there. And
I can't tell if that's 30. That's 30 something.
Mercado.
Okay, Josiah Mercado. So the coin toss has happened. Lamar won they're going to receive the opening kickoff, defending the south end zone. So as you look, and it's sort of southwest or something, this isn't exactly north to south, but basically they're going to be moving right to left. Permian will kick off moving left to right if you're looking at it. Now, just a little bit more, some of the leading tacklers that you're going to hear from Lamar: James Douglas, Simone Foster, Jordan Polk, Keswin Kinney, James Grando, Jacob Erickson, a few others, of course, in the backfield. In the secondary, I should say, Deshaun Gaddy's been giving quarterbacks and receivers fits all season long.
We're not quite square with the wall.
Okay, just a little off, but not as bad as it feels. Of course, the interstate, we can see it. It runs a little bit at an angle. The streets out here run at angles. It's so David says it's pretty much almost due north-south. Okay, good deal. Close enough for government work, as we like to say. Yesterday I was reading up a little bit from the Odessa newspapers. Permian, they had their Thanksgiving feast after their morning practice. Lamar had a practice and a Thanksgiving feast. Family and friends, very identical things. I think they left town at about the same time each of them this morning because it's almost equidistant here to Abilene. So everyone had similar type of preparation. Looking ahead, I don't like to do too much, but just so people are aware, the winner of this game will play the winner of the Duncanville-Louisville game that's going to be played tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Birdville ISD Stadium back home in the Fort Worth area. All right, well, I've put together a little summary of what to expect. Offense, Lamar has at least 25 to 30% more total offense than Permian. They both have a somewhat equally balanced attack. The Vikings also appear to be deeper with running backs and receivers. I'm going to give the edge on offense to Lamar. On defense, both teams have held opponents to relatively low scores overall. Lamar has 3 shutouts. Permian has 2. Again, so close. Lamar gives up an average of 16 points per game. Permian 17.5 points per game.
Close.
I mean, both teams have multiple interceptions this season. I'm going to say the edge is slightly to Lamar, just because of statistically. Special teams, Lamar's performed extremely well on kickoffs, kick returns. You know, when Blake Ford can kick that ball short and toward the sideline, and Cedric Davis can come clobber a guy as soon as he catches it. I mean, now Permian's had at least 1 kick six, and they have a reliable place kicker as well. Neither team has had to rely on field goals this season to make a game.
And that's an interesting point because we're playing at a college field.
Yes.
We don't have a high school with
on the goalpost. That's a good observation, Steve. That's very true. So I'm going to give
play more narrow.
Yep. I'm going to give the edge on special teams slightly to Lamar. Now, stamina, Permian has played hard for entire games against tough opponents, including that one I mentioned about South Lake Carroll. Lamar's never given up. A couple of games turned into high-scoring track meets. I'm going to say slight edge on stamina to Permian. Playoff history and tradition, we mentioned that before. Edge to Permian. Crowd. Now, we've had some more Lamar people filter in. There's a few more people here from Permian. The band is somewhat bigger than ours. I'll say crowd impact might go to Permian. But overall, with everything I believe, it's going to be a hard-fought, close game, probably all the way to the fourth quarter. With the overall edge, I'm picking Lamar, hopefully big, but it could be 7 to 10 points. That's just for what it's worth, that and 25 cents will get you part of a cup of coffee these days.
Should be a good game. Number 7, Carson Roberts, is their kicker. He's a junior. He's getting ready to kick off from the 40.
Okay, it looks like we've got Deshaun Gaddy, and I'm trying to pick out, is that Jordan, number 5? Is he number 5, Dave? Yeah, Mr. Williams. But it's going to be caught by number 82 for Lamar back at the 22-yard line. He'll get met immediately. Of course, that's Matthew Licious.
And he ran backwards.
Yeah, moved backwards a little bit. I think he was going to see if he could get around the edge.
He wasn't an edge to get around.
No.
He came right down the field.
I think yep. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 22-yard line.
For the Vikings.
Excuse me, for the Vikings. What did I say, Panthers?
Yeah.
For the Vikings. Freudian slip. Okay, again, moving right to left. Now we've got twins right, single left, 2 in the backfield with Jack Dawson. Here's a snap. It's zone read. Dawson throws out to the flat, and it's going to be incomplete. Intended for Cam Brady. It's just a little bit low and outside if you want to put a baseball analogy on the pass.
Yeah.
So we'll have 2nd down and 10 for the Vikings now.
Sitting down there about 5 yards, saying, "Hey, anybody around?"
And our tune-in group is growing as we speak, up to 60 at least now. Hello to everyone again. Thanks for tuning in. 2nd and 10. Here's a snap. It's up the middle to Jordan Williams. He's going to get to the 29-yard line. And we start at the 22, so that's about 7 yards. So now we'll have 3rd down and about 3.
Permian plays 3 down linemen with 4 linebackers, kind of like the Vikings do.
Yeah, again, very similar. Okay, so now we've got twins right, single left, 2 in the backfield with Dawson. 3rd down and 3 at their own 29-yard line. Here's a snap. Zone reads a pass over the middle to a wide open at the 50-yard line. Is caught by Trayvon West. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 48 in Permian territory. So what a 3rd down conversion that was.
Absolutely.
It's a big play, but the pass is a nice little kind of play action, if you will. Dawson stepped back, and Trayvon West was wide open, and then he finally got tackled in Permian territory. 1st and 10 at the Mojo 48-yard line. Twins right, single left, 2 in the backfield. Dawson fakes the handoff, throws to the far sideline. It's caught by Trayvon West at the 30-yard line.
Down to the 29.
And it's another 1st and 10 for the Vikings.
Almost 19-yard pickup.
So a couple of runs here to begin, or one run, an incomplete pass, and then 2 big pass plays for first downs right in a row. And Vikings moving the ball into Permian territory, 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Well, it's good to see that they haven't gotten rusty in a week.
Nope, Twins left, single right, 2 in the backfield again, keeping all of the options open. Permian showing a blitz. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Williams over the right side across the 25 to the 22-yard line, almost to the 21. And that's going to be 2nd down and about 3. So that's a nice run by Williams over the right tackle. And now 2nd down and 3. They got to get to the 19, so listen for that yard line. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, throws toward the end zone. He ends up Isaiah Nair in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Wow, what a quick strike offense. Only 2 minutes and 7 seconds off the clock, if my math is correct. And I'm trying to make sure, even though we're in a college stadium, think about high school 12-minute quarters. 9:53 to go. And a quick start by the Vikings. He's got Alejandro Garcia out to kick the extra point with Jack Dawson holding. I believe it's Preston Gomez on the deep snap. The kick is up, and it is good. And so the Vikings have a 7-0 lead early on. Now, I got to say this. We are right next to the coach's booth for the Vikings with a big open window. They can't hear us. We can't hear them. But it's kind of interesting to look over and see them. This is like at the Gopher Bowl. Whenever we've done games there, we've been in a broadcast booth right next to the Viking coaches.
Some games, drive summary, it's a 78-yard drive with 6 plays, only 2 runs, 4 passing plays, picking up big chunks of yardage.
Yep. Well, thank you, Justin Langford, for doing those stats in that drive chart for us. Help, again, paint the picture.
And that was 2 minutes and 7 seconds. There you go. Well, let's see what Viking defense can do.
All right, so number 22 looks like is deep for the Panthers. I believe that's Chase Stell.
Like Ford is kicking again.
Let's see if he kicks.
That's his pooch.
Yeah, one of these to the short sideline. And again, Coach DeLay says they do that too. Sometimes you're going to get the fair catch inside the 25, and it comes out to the 35. And here's the kick, and it's deep down the middle. He's showing off that leg to college scouts. It's in the end zone for a touchback.
5 yards in the end zone.
Yeah.
It comes out to the 25.
Oh, want to let you know the reason that you're only seeing the scoreboard. It's a playoff game, but it's a Friday. And UIL rules in Texas say that we are only allowed to show scoreboard. We're not allowed to show video, and that's for anyone, TV, radio, whatever, internet. You can't show live video of the game on Fridays. If it was Thursday or Saturday, we could do it, but that's regulations. 1st and 10 for the Panthers, their initial drive at their own 25-yard line. Here's a snap, handoff over the right guard to the 30, and he'll get out to the 34-yard line. That was number 27, Derek Pena. Elijah Crenshaw on the tackle.
Ran right over that right tackle, right over Mercado's position. Good block against Mercado.
So nice big run, 2nd down and a short 3 for the Panthers. It looks like really 2nd and 2. Here's a snap. It's a pitch to the right side. He's coming around. He'll have the first down to 35. Gets stopped at the 40-yard line. That's going to be number 32 for the Panthers. Kylan Thompson made that stop. And that'll be a first down now for the Panthers. They're having success moving the ball on their opening drive at the 40-yard line.
2 good offensive teams.
Yes, indeed. All right, now the Panthers come out. Single left, single right. I formation with 2 in the backfield behind Peyton Powell. Here's a snap. He's going to go left. He's going to try to string it up, but he'll be caught behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of, let's see where they marked that ball. There's a penalty flag on the play.
Javion Moore came blitzing in.
It's going to be holding against the Panthers. So I think they're going to go ahead and take that penalty instead of 2nd and 11. I bet they move it back and have 1st and 20. I'm looking over to the coaches in the booth here, and I can't get a hint of what they're doing. Can't read lips or anything. So it was a, yeah. All right, so that's the first penalty of the game. And it goes against the Panthers. That'll be a 10-yard penalty. Put the ball back at the 30-yard line, and they'll have 1st down and 20.
That indicates a great play by Javion out of that linebacker position.
All right, single left, single right. Now there's 1 in the backfield. Now man in motion goes back. Handoff up the middle. He's to the 35-yard line, so he'll get 5 yards of that penalty back. And it'll be 2nd down and 15 for the Panthers at the 35-yard line.
Carolyn Thompson, Javion Moore again in on the tackle. Looks like Permian might have some height and size on their offensive line.
They, I think, yeah, our defensive line.
Yeah.
2nd down and 15. Here's a snap. Powell steps back, throws to the other sideline, almost picked off. Wow. James Douglas came through and he got his hands on the ball and just couldn't hold on. He timed that perfectly.
He read that screen very, very well.
That was going to go.
He decided he wanted it too.
Yeah, and there was another fellow over there. If they had caught that ball, if Permian had, it wasn't going to be for much of a gain anyway. Now it's 3rd down and 15, so Permian in a bind early. 3rd and 15 at their own 35-yard line. Full house backfield. He's got pressure in the backfield, but he jumps the pass off to number 27. He'll be thrown for a loss at the 34.5-yard line. That pass was complete to number 27, Derek Pena from Powell.
Thompson and Gaddy were there to make the stop.
Wow, he caught that ball, but he didn't make it back to the original. Now they're going to go ahead and put it at the line of scrimmage. So it's 4th down and 15 for the Panthers. Deshaun Gaddy is deep for the Panthers, standing back at his own 32, 33-yard line. Here's a snap. The punt is up. They came in for the block.
Ran into the kicker.
You know, and what's interesting, I wouldn't be, they should, well, they ran into him, but the guy pulled back. He kind of touched him, but they're going to call this running into. That's only the 5-yard variety at least.
26.
Yeah, so Permian doesn't want to kick that ball again.
So that was a 3 and out.
Yes, sir. Well, no, I think they got 1 first down because they came out of the 25-yard line.
Did they?
They got 1 first down on that drive. And so now Lamar takes over again, but on the after the first down, we'll call that the 3 and out. So with an asterisk next to it.
All right.
But so Lamar takes over now after that punt, 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. We're going to come out with twins right, single left. Now 1 in the backfield with Dawson. Here's a snap. It's a handoff around the end. It's Jordan Williams. He gets across the 25 to the 29-yard line. And so that's going to be a gain of about 3 yards.
Sweet came out to the left.
It looks like number 21, Keaton Armstrong, was over there for the Panthers, among others. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 now.
Jordan Williams in the backfield yet again.
Here's the snap. Jordan Williams right up the middle, and he's going to get stopped and pushed forward to the 35-yard line. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 1. Number 47 led the tackle, and that's Tanner Adams. We'll be calling his name a lot. He's one of the leading tacklers. Thank you, Charlie Frawley, doing some spotting for us. 3rd and 1. They're showing blitz. Now flags fly. Now the Permian line is saying, well, the Lamar line jumped, and that's what they're calling. Boy, I think the Permian guy showing blitz came up and might have caused Lamar guy to jump. So that's going to be a false start. Now it's 3rd and 6. Well, that's a different situation.
Flinched. There was a blitz on each side.
Yep. All right, 3rd down and 6.
How do you center the ball and block 2 blockers?
Especially when they're coming at you.
Yeah.
Twins right, single left, 1 in the backfield behind Dawson. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back. He's thrown to the far sideline. It is caught by Cam Brady for a first down at the 45-yard line. He'll get out to the 49-yard line. Number 22, Chase Dell. We're going to call his name a lot. He has interceptions and lots of defense for the Panthers. But that time, Cam Brady makes the catch, 1st and 10. That's a big 3rd and 6 play.
Absolutely.
At their own 49-yard line.
So the Vikings are 2 for 2 on 3rd down.
In honor of Jay Ryan, we'll call it the 51-yard line. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back after the play action. He's scrambling, has some pressure, and he's going to get sacked back at the 41-yard line. And that was number 18, Matt Jones, who got back there. Boy, he just had nowhere to go.
That was a coverage sack. He wanted to throw and to Nair. Nair was covered.
Yeah, Charlie just pointed out. Charlie's played some quarterback junior high and into his freshman year at Lamar. And, yeah, that was a smart kind of time not to make a dangerous throw. And sometimes you do just have to take it. 2nd down and 16.
Ooh.
Jordan Williams up the middle over the right guard for little, maybe 1 yard to the 44-yard line. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 15. We need to put a headset on you, Charlie. You've got some good insight. So now, yeah, Charlie was pointing out that 3rd down conversion we had earlier is the kind of thing college scouts look at. Well, here's 3rd down and 15 for the Vikings at their own 44. Dawson steps back. He's looking to this side. He throws. Oh, it's intercepted by number 22, Chase Stell. Isaiah Nair slipped. Looks like, I don't know if it was a little bit of missed coverage or, pattern, but Chase Stell, and I mentioned earlier, I think he has at least 5 interceptions coming into this game, and he's got one early here in the first quarter. With 5:40 to go in the first quarter, Permian will take over now at their own 41-yard line. So, number 18, Matt Jones caused the pressure on the quarterback. Thanks, Charlie. Now twins left for the Panthers. Man in motion in the backfield. It's a handoff. No, zone read. And he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe 1 yard. Number 33, that's Javion Moore. And number 22, Russell Hunt, converging there to meet the quarterback. Now they're going to show a 1 yard gain.
That was an option to the right. The quarterback chose to keep it, and it was greeted.
Welcome to Abilene. 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers. Twins left. Pretty full backfield. Man in motion. It's a pitch on the right side. He fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by James Douglas.
Number 3, Douglas.
Oh, beautiful. That's the danger of that pitch play on those sweeps. And Permian, when I was there in the 1980s, they lived by what they used to call a student body right. And they'd go around and they'd pitch at the last minute. It was bobbled. And so now Permian has a turnover. That's true. Yeah, Charlie says live by the option, die by the option. Permian
38.
Yep, 1st and 10. So each team now with 1 turnover.
What they're doing with that, they can run off of that up the middle or the option, and then they have a guy leading as a sweep who does the blocking.
There you go. Appreciate that great insight, Steve. Now the Vikings, twins right, single left, 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. It's a handoff up the middle. Jordan Williams, he bounces around, go out to the outside, 35-yard line, making yardage to the 30. He'll be stopped there. The forward progress at the 30-yard line. Tackled by Matt James, Cameron Martinez, and who was the other one? That's at least 2 of the Panthers that came in on the defensive play to stop him, but not before he got 8 yards. Now the Vikings have the ball 2nd down and 2 at the Panther 30-yard line. Now they've got twins left, single right, 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back to throw, goes to the corner of the end zone, just overthrown past Trayvon West, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Cam Brady is regularly lining up in a slot position. Their safety is 15 yards off of them. So that ought to be an easy 5 to 7 yard pickup with that quick pass.
All right, 3rd down and 2. Twins left, single right. Here's the snap. It's a keeper by Dawson across the 20, 15, 10, 5. Dawson's in, no flags, touchdown Vikings. Say that again, Charlie. Supporting that what? Yep. Yep, Charlie, man, we got to put a headset on you, Charlie.
So I think
But yeah,
off to the right for Williams up the middle, came around this left end and found an opening with nobody in the backfield.
Charlie pointed out the dual threat capability that the college scouts are going to like. Okay, now there's a sideline warning against Permian. I don't know if it was coaches and players, but again, that's their first sideline warning on the Panthers, as I guess they were getting kind of excited and concerned. Now the extra point attempt, I believe it's Preston Gomez on the snap, Dawson on the hold, Garcia to kick. The hold is down, the kick is up, and he gets it inside, and now it's 14-0.
So that was a 38-yard run coming three plays that haunted him last season. Two of which were runs. Last was the long run by Jack Dawson.
Now this is worth mentioning. I think early on we've got these two. Yeah, we've got these two extra points. And Steve, you mentioned earlier, it was a good observation. The goalposts here are on a college field, and so they're narrower than a high school set of goalposts between the uprights. And so Garcia, both times now successful. He's been Mr. Dependable. He had a little trouble at the last game of the season, I believe, but he's overcome that, it looks like, and so far so good with our kicking game. Now Blake Ford set to kick off, and number 22, Chase Stell, who had that interception a little while ago, is deep for the Panthers back at his own 7-yard line.
Yeah, the sun is getting low in that western sky, and it's creating some difficulty for those Permian players looking back into it.
All right.
Say several of them shielded.
Here comes Blake Ford. He kicks this one now a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Stell is going to receive it at the 13. He's across the 15-20 to the 25-yard line, and he's met. And James Douglas leads that stop. Also in there was number 29.
Number 22.
Yep.
29.
Yeah, number 29. Braxton Thomas, of course. So, yes, sir. About a 13-yard return by Stell, and that'll set the Permian Panthers up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. 4:07 to go in the first quarter. The Vikings have an early 14-0 lead, but I tell you what, as we all know, there's a lot that gets even in this first quarter. All right, Permian comes out. Nobody split wide either way. Man in motion. Powell steps back. Oh, he's going to be, the ball is loose, and it's going to be recovered by the Vikings down at the 11-yard line. Oh, my goodness, what a hit. Did y'all see who did that?
32.
Number 42, Taj Legrone put that hit, I believe.
He came up with the ball. So,
Well, he was also down there. Man, I'm sorry I didn't get all the numbers.
yeah.
But
Powell
wow.
stepped back to throw out to the left side, and before he could get the ball away, he got blindsided from the back. Ball went up in the air, and the Vikings came away with it on the 16-yard line.
And you know what? I want to maybe make an apology. I believe they actually have Christian Rodriguez in starting at quarterback, because that was number 26, not number 25. Now, I don't know if they brought Powell out after that first drive. Here's our first play. This drive, Dawson up the middle on the keeper. He'll get about, 2 yards down to the 14-yard line. So I apologize to the listeners, and especially if any of y'all are from Permian. I noted that Permian on Facebook shared our link to this broadcast, and really appreciate that. So hopefully if anyone from Permian's out there, hello to my Odessa friends and folks from my alma mater. And I apologize, I didn't catch earlier that it was Rodriguez at quarterback on that last drive.
So Quentin's English inside linebacker keyed off on Cedric Davis. And
2nd down and 8, live action.
There he goes.
Williams up the middle. He'll get to about the 13-yard line. And that Permian defense is really holding tight up front now on this drive.
ETS reached out and just clotheslined him.
Ball's going to be at the 12-yard line now. 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings.
2 for 4 according to my calculations.
Twins right, single left, 2 in the backfield with Dawson. Davis goes in motion out. It's a pass to Isaiah Nair in the end zone. What a catch over the helmet of number Oh my goodness gracious. He reached up and caught the ball over the helmet of number 29, who is, looks like Rakib Adeyemi. I'm sorry. You're right, number 29. What was that? Oh, no. That's going to be Rakib Adeyemi. Now, it's kind of interesting. They have dual numbers on their roster because they brought some JV players up with the same numbers. That is an ESPN highlight reel catch.
And that was a beautiful catch over the...
So here's the extra point attempt, the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. So now it's 21-0, 2:49 to go in the first quarter, primarily off of turnovers here in the first quarter. Two costly fumbles for the Panthers in their own territory.
3-yard drive completed with that touchdown throw.
More than 3 yards.
Three
Play drive. There you go. They might be serving coffee downstairs.
Well, you get excited, and I get my tongue tongued up sometimes.
I understand. What a catch by Isaiah Nair, though. Jumped up, caught that over the helmet of the defender, and managed to come down in bounds.
In fact, it had to reach behind the defender.
Yeah, good point. Charlie pointed out, couldn't have done that if the ball had been thrown anywhere else. Dawson placed that ball exactly on the dot.
And Dawson was going to him from day one.
All right. Chase Dell is back to receive this kick at his own 8-yard line for the Panthers. Blake Ford has it teed up to kick off. Let's see where he puts this one. He comes up, the kick is up. It's a shorter kick to Chase Dell. He'll catch it at the 13, across the 15, 20, 25, gets some more yardage out to the 29-yard line. Number 10 is Harold West, of course, and it looked like number 15, Austin Bradley, might have had a piece of that also, but of course led by number 10, Harold West. So the Panthers come out again on offense at their own 30-yard line this time, 1st and 10. Wow, 21-0, early lead for the Vikings, 2:45 to go in the first quarter.
We'll take those turnovers. That'll help.
All right, single left, single right for the Panthers. One in motion in the backfield, handoff up the middle to the 35 to the 36-yard line. It looks like James Douglas leading the tackle there, among some others. That's going to be about a 6-yard gain for the Panthers. They'll have 2nd down and 4 at their own 36-yard line.
Panthers operate off of that feed up the middle. That's where they've had their success, going up the middle.
Here's the snap. It is Rodriguez at quarterback. He hands off. It's up the middle to the 40-yard line. That'll be a 1st down for the Panthers. Leading the tackle this time, number 77, Eric Williams, looks like. Yep, Eric Williams led that tackle. And now the Panthers have a 1st down, 1st and 10 at their own 40.
Mason Sellers coming in as wide receiver left.
1:56 to go in the first quarter. Single left, single right, I formation. Here's the snap. Rodriguez pitches it to this side. He's going to get across the 40 to the 45.
45 yard line.
Looks like he might have been wrapped up, but he kind of slipped through a couple of guys and turns nothing into something, getting out to the 46-yard line. So a nice.
Vikings strung that out. It looked like they might catch him behind the line, but he found the seam.
So the Panthers having some success in the running game here if they don't drop the ball like they did on a couple of other drives. Single left, single right, I formation, 2 stacked behind Nope, it's Powell now.
Yeah, Powell came back in that last time.
No, that's Rodriguez. My bad. That 6 and 5 look the same. The run is up the middle to the 50-yard line for a 1st down, exactly what they needed. So that'll move the chains again, 1st and 10. So it is Christian Rodriguez in at quarterback for the Panthers. So all that talk I did about Powell in the pregame is for naught right now as we see Christian Rodriguez at the helm. Now there's single right. Man in motion. Here's a snap. It's a pitch to this side again. He's wrapped up by Deshaun Gaddy, and then also number 34. And of course, that's Josiah Mercado, and that'll be no gain. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Russell Hunt came in from that outside line back in position and force that pitch. And
all right, second down and 10. 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. Permian driving the ball at midfield. Twins left, nobody right. One lined up behind Rodriguez. Now a man in motion behind him. Rodriguez keeps it. He's going to get across to the 45-yard line for a 5-yard gain into Viking territory, and that's going to bring up now third down and 5, and the clock is going to wind down. That'll be the end of the first quarter. So far, it's all Vikings, 21-0. Steve, give me some of your observations.
Obviously, turnovers and penalties are hurting, so Permian's hurting themselves, but the Vikings are taking advantage of it and continuing with that high-octane offense that they have.
Sure enough.
In addition to that, this is a pretty crucial drive because it seems to be this is Permian's first sustained drive on a turnover. So if Lamar can stop him again, that would show that the much has changed.
Good point by Charlie. This is Permian's first sustained drive of the game without a turnover, and they're crossing over midfield finally to the Viking, I believe it's 45-yard line. Now it's going to be third down and 5. So in addition, this is a crucial drive, like you said, Charlie. This is a crucial third down, 3rd and 5 for the Panthers on offense and for the Vikings on defense. And I'll say really more crucial for the Panthers because they trailed 21-0 at the beginning of the second quarter. Now both teams come out to the field. Yeah, good point. Vikings got the opening kick, so Permian will receive the kick to begin the second half in a little while. All right, single left, one behind Rodriguez. It's a handoff to the left tackle. He gets strung out, but now he breaks away to the 40, to the 34. Let's see if they mark it at the 35-yard line. Yep, 35-yard line, so that'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Rodriguez used a stiff arm. He was going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. He used a stiff arm to keep the defender off of him.
And then Harold West finally got him out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 7 plays, 7 consecutive runs. Thank you, Justin. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Viking 35-yard line. Single right. One in the backfield, now man in motion. It's a handoff up the middle. He gets a little clothesline. He'll get a 3-yard gain at the 32. And that ball carrier is number 27. That's going to be Derek Pena. He's been a workhorse already today and one of their workhorses for the season.
3 first downs on this drive.
Now a lineman coming off the field for the Panthers to take a break, and that's number 61, Paul Freeman. He'll get a little bit of a chance to take a breather. Now single left, single right. Now they're back in that I formation with 2 behind Rodriguez. Here's the snap. It's a pitch to this side. James Douglas trips him up back at the 35-yard line. Reached out, shoestring tackle.
They're going to lose 2 yards on that.
Yep. They're going to have 3rd and long. 3rd down and 9 at the 34-yard line. Wow, Douglas had to really extend and just reach out and grab an ankle or a shoestring literally there. Big defensive play in the backfield. All right. Single left, single right. I formation with 2 behind Rodriguez again for the Panthers. Here's the snap. Rodriguez steps back. He's got trouble. Throws to this side. Number 4 catches it. He's going to be out of bounds. Yep, at the 21-yard line. But that's enough for a 1st down. And that's Justin Hammond, one of his favorite receivers, or one of the favorite receivers of the Panthers. Looked like he might have a chance of getting caught back earlier, but he squirmed out of something.
He was wanting to go downfield and then came back out to the flat.
So now it'll be 1st and 10. The ball marked now at the 20-yard line in Viking territory. This is the biggest and longest sustained drive of the game for the Panthers.
And their deepest penetration.
Single left, single right, 1 behind Rodriguez. Now man in motion. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle to the 15 to the 14-yard line. And again, Derek Pena takes that handoff.
He's quite a load. He's low to the ground, carrying some weight, so he's not an easy guy to bring down.
I think Simone Foster might have been in on that. Now he gets to go take a breather, and Eric Williams comes in his place on defense. 2nd down and 4. Vikings showing corner blitz possibly. Keeper by Rodriguez, and he'll get about 2 yards, maybe 1 to the 13-yard line. Leading the stop is going to be number 35, Jacob Erickson, on that quarterback keeper by Rodriguez. So now a short third down, a relatively short 3rd and 3. Listen for the 10-yard line. That's where the Panthers have to get for a first down. No wide receivers, one directly behind Rodriguez. Man in motion. It's a pitch to the far side sweep. He's across the 15 to the 10. He'll dive to the 9 for the first down. I believe that's number 4, and it is, and that's Justin Hammond. He came in motion around behind the fullback and then took that on the sweep. Got 4 yards, enough for the first down. First and goal for the Panthers at the Viking 9-yard line. Now on the far hash mark, hashtag hash mark, one receiver right, one in the backfield. Now Hammond in motion. It's a handoff to number 27, Pena. He gets wrapped up early, and it looks like they're saying forward progress, no gain at the 9-yard line. Let's see, number 77 is coming off the bottom of that pile. That's Eric Williams. He was one of the ones definitely involved. I see James Grondo coming from over there. If he wasn't involved in the tackle, he was sure helping to contain that situation. The ball again at the far hash mark at the 9-yard line, so no gain. 2nd and goal. Now they've got a wide receiver split way to this side and one to the far sideline. One right behind Rodriguez in the pistol. Now man in motion. It's a handoff to Hammond around the end. He gets to about the 7, and he gets hit pretty hard immediately. Yeah, I was thinking it might be a play action also, Charlie, but they went with the handoff on the Hammond in motion. Yep, 3rd and goal at the 8-yard line, so only a 1-yard gain that time. And now will they... Thank you for catching the defender there. That was a good solid hit, leading with that shoulder like they're supposed to do. Now, will they stay with the running game, or will they try to dump something into the corner of the end zone? The ball is on the right hash mark. That's the far hash mark. They've got a receiver on this side, and now one going split right. I formation, 2 in the backfield. Now timeout is called by Permian. That's their first timeout of the half. 7:53 to go in the second quarter. This is a long sustained drive by Permian, and the Vikings lead 21-0.
So far, they've managed 5 first downs and 3 third down conversions on this drive.
Well, I'm standing up to take another look at the crowd. I'm going to say the Panthers are outnumbering the Vikings maybe 3-2, if not 2-1. So the Panthers did travel well again here today, as we would expect. Their side of the stadium holds 8,000 approximately, and I'm going to say they've got it over half full. The Vikings side holds about 4,000 or so, and I'm going to say it's less than half full, especially if you don't count the band. But there's a good, strong contingent of Viking fans, and we're glad every one of them showed up, and we're thankful for everyone who's taken the time to listen in today again, whether you are a Viking fan or if you found the link on the Mojo Facebook page and you're hearing us from them.
So the Viking faithful are sitting in the warm West Texas sun at 70 degrees. All right, timeout's concluded. Now they come back out onto the field. Again, the ball on the far right hash mark. Now they only have one receiver left. One right behind Rodriguez. 3rd and goal at the 8. Man in motion. Here's a snap. It's a keeper by Rodriguez, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. No gain. Number 33, and that's going to be Javion Moore, and number 3, James Douglas. They just saw him and wrapped him up. He had nowhere to go. Yeah. They've been running off of that play, one of those 3 options off that play the entire game. The Vikings have figured that out.
Well, now we're going to see the Permian kicker challenge for the first time. Carson Roberts. This will be a 25-yard attempt. Remember, narrower uprights in this college stadium. Here's the snap. The hold, the kick is up. Oh, it didn't get any lift at all. Barely went over the heads of the linemen, and the line was good. He had the right direction pretty much, but it never really got up in the air. It never went above the crossbar, so that's going to be no good. Lamar holds, and the Vikings keep their 21-0 lead. 7:11 to go in the second quarter.
He didn't hit the ball low. Must have hit it mid-spring or something, because it went straight.
Yeah, there was just no lift on that at all.
So there was a 17-play drive.
17 plays?
1 pass, 16 runs.
Wow, thanks, Justin, for those stats.
Ended in a missed kick.
Holy cow.
That's got to hurt.
Now the Vikings come out looking to throw. Trips right, no one left. One in the backfield behind Dawson. Here's a snap. It is a handoff to Caleb Phillips around the left end, and he'll get out to the 23-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 20. So that's a 3-yard gain for the Vikings.
So they brought Phillips. They've been keying off of Davis and Williams, and now bringing Phillips in.
Yep, Charlie giving some good insight. This would be a good time for a long, sustained drive for the Vikings. Trips right now. Williams in motion. It's a handoff to it's a keeper by Dawson. Gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And again, Dawson's so good at that zone read. I get fooled sometimes. Dawson kept the ball out to the 27-yard line. So that brings up 3rd down and 3.
3 for 5.
3 for 5 on 3rd downs. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I followed the fake up the middle with Phillips, and Dawson kept it.
6:15 to go in the first quarter. A crucial 3rd down to keep this drive alive for the Vikings. Single left, twins right. One in the backfield behind Dawson. Here's the snap. It is a handoff around for Jordan Williams. He has nowhere to go, and he'll get stopped back at the 26-yard line, a loss of 1. And that'll bring up 4th down. And I didn't see who led the stop there for the Panthers. And I dare say it might have been number 18, Matt Jones, in on there a little bit, because he was one of the closest ones to that. And now Jack Dawson, the quarterback, also does the punting. He
Which
sets
foot
back.
He's going to kick with, left or right?
Right.
He's going to kick the right foot.
And is that number 20? What number is that deep back, please, for them? Number 22, Chase Stell, deep back for the Panthers. Here's the punt. Great kick. It's fielded at the 39 by Stell. He gets out to the 45 to the 50. Deshaun Gaddy made the stop there. There was an attempted arm tackle back around the 40. Stell got out of that easily. And so now the Panthers will start with a relatively short field, 1st and 10 at the Viking 49-yard line. It was left-footed, huh? Yep. It was a 3-and-out, unfortunately.
Really interesting.
So much for a sustained drive there, Charlie.
Yeah,
that would have been nice.
It would have been nice.
All right, single left, single right. One in the backfield directly behind the quarterback. Now it's Hammond at quarterback. He turns and he keeps it, but he gets out for about 6 yards to the 43-yard line. So, man, they're keeping us on our toes up here in the booth at who's at quarterback.
Hammond's normally a slot receiver.
You know, I think he has a touchdown pass or 2 this season. If I look back at the stats in a little while, I'll confirm that. They've done a variety of things on that Mojo offense this year.
2nd and 4.
That's not his first. He's taken a couple snaps today already.
Okay, Justin pointed out he's already taken a couple of snaps today. Twins left, single right. Hammond takes a snap. He pitches it to the far side. Pena across to the 40-yard line, and he's going to get right to the marker for the 1st down. Maybe a little extra.
Yeah, 1st down. Russell Hunt coming in on that outside linebacker to make him to force the pick.
I knew he made it to the 1st down marker at the 39, but they put it at the 38. So 1st and 10 Panthers at the Viking 38-yard line. All right, single left, single right.
All right.
Now Rodriguez back at quarterback with the power I formation, 2 behind him. Here's a snap. It's a handoff to the right guard, over the right guard. He's going to get 1 yard to the, maybe 2, to the 30, well, let's see where they put it, 37-yard line. So 1 yard gain. Nope, 2 yard gain. They just move that ball back and forth till they decide where they like it. 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers now. That was a nice defensive stop there on the line by the Lamar defensive line. Twins left, nobody right. 1 behind Rodriguez. Now man in motion. Pena's got the ball, and he's going to get out to the 31-yard line, 4 yards short of the 1st down marker, I believe. 32-yard line, so 4 yards short. That'll bring up 3rd down and 4. And I apologize. I've been saying Derek Pena. Man, I apologize. That is Ed Williams, and that would make a lot more sense.
Yeah,
My apologies again. That dual numbers on the roster has been throwing me off. Pressure by James Douglas, but it's connected to Hammond for a first down at the 15-yard line. Number 4, Hammond caught that ball. James Douglas was coming in and giving the quarterback fits. So again, one more time to apologize. I was calling Pena, and that was, of course, Ed Williams all the way through. And just like I said during the pregame, we're going to be calling Williams a lot. Now, Rodriguez comes off the field, and it looks like Hammond's going to be out there to take the snap with Williams going to be behind him. Single left, twins right. I'm getting all these names straight finally. Here's the snap. Hammond steps back. Now he's going to keep it up the middle. 10, 5, and across the goal line for the touchdown. And now the Panthers are on the board. 21-6, 2:39 to go. Well, that 3 and out sure cost us there when we couldn't keep that drive going. And the Panthers turned around and made hay out of that by going 40, I guess it was 49 yards on that drive. And now Carson Roberts out for the extra point attempt. Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and he got lift on that one, and it's good. The new score now, Lamar 21, Permian 7.
So that was a 49-yard drive, 6 plays, 1 pass for that first down. So 5 running plays culminating with that quarterback draw. Design draw from the very beginning. He spread everybody out like they were going to pass, and Hammond just ducked his head and ran. So do you think that'll be a wake-up call for the Vikings? They think they were
Certainly shows them they've got some real competition.
Yeah,
now they've got competition.
And of course, there were those 2 turnovers early in the game in the first quarter that gave us short fields. So that's the first time that in a while that Permian has not fumbled the ball.
2 drives in a row now. They haven't turned it over or had a penalty.
So the key here, if they don't have a drive-killing penalty or turnover, Permian is definitely going to be a force to deal with, as we expected coming into the game.
So I wonder, I don't know if their schedule is Permian been 21 points down this year.
I don't think they have, from looking back at the history of their season. Carson Roberts kicks the ball. It's a short kick to the far sideline. It's fielded by Deshaun Gaddy at the 22. Out to the 25, now changing course. He'll go back to the 22, somewhere between the 22 and 23-yard line. So officially maybe a no yards on the return. And he'll
score. This fair catch. Picked up the 3 yards.
Celebrating the input by not running straight up.
Yeah, if he'd have run up straight up field, he had the room.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikings, 2:35 to go at their own 22-yard line. They come out, twins right. That's going to be Cam Brady and Trevon West. Single receiver left, 2 in the backfield. Snap. Handoff up the middle, and he stopped for maybe a 1-yard gain. That's Jordan Williams. Number 18 for the Panthers made that stop, Matt Jones. Well, the Vikings definitely need to extend this drive down the field. If nothing else, keep the ball out of the Permian offense. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back to throw. He's going over the middle deep. Trevon West in and out of his hands at the 45-yard line. Number 20 for the Panthers, Christian Nieto. And I'm sorry, number Easton Hernandez. Again, that double numbers thing. Easton Hernandez and Tanner Adams had double coverage, and they helped break that up.
So now we're facing a 3rd
and 9.
And we're 3 for 6.
All right.
This is the longest 3rd.
Isaiah Nair lined up far left. Brady and West on this side, split right. 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, throws to the other sideline. Nair reaches up, makes another catch. Yes, it was a jump ball, it looked like, because the defender from Permian also had his hands on it. But Ty goes to the receiver. Nair brought it to his chest.
That was huge.
That was another.
Lamar doesn't have something like Brady.
That's 2 incredible catches by Nair already. That extends the drive. 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
Just like the previous one, went over the defender.
Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, dumps it off to Cedric Davis. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. Yes, he does. 49-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Now,
Permian smelled that one out and had 2 defenders there.
Yes,
there should have been 2 blockers. There were 2 defenders.
now Dawson did get a little bit of help from his offensive line. He's going to get some pressure there, but they staved him off. We'll try to give some love to those guys individually here in a little bit. 1:22 to go in the half. It's Dawson throws out. Oh, over the middle, in and out of the hands of Cam Brady.
Cam hit his hands and he turned his head to look upfield.
That would have been about a 6-yard gain, 7-yard if he had gotten that, but he drops it. So now it's 3rd down and 10 for the Vikings at their own 49-yard line. So keep in mind, if they should have a big play, you want to listen for the 41-yard line, the yard line to make for a 1st down. And now a timeout is called by Lamar, wisely so. 1:15 to go. Wow, exciting game as it is, even with the 21-7 margin right now. Too much can happen. The Vikings wanting to extend this lead before halftime.
In baseball, they say you have to hit the ball before you get it. Football, you have to catch it before you get it.
Good point,
Charlie.
Sometimes it's hard for young players to.
Charlie just said in baseball they say you have to hit the ball before you can run, and in football you have to catch it before you can run. And I think, he might have been ready to run just before it was completely in his hands. But, there's a lot of excitement here in a playoff game. You're in the 2nd round. You're in a nice new college stadium. You're playing this, the team with some mystique, the Permian Panthers, the mojo. And I can only imagine the butterflies in some of these guys' stomachs. But I'll tell you, so far Lamar has played very well, especially getting those 2 turnovers early in the game.
That may be the difference right now.
Okay, so the Vikings come back out. 3rd and 10 at their own 49-yard line. Twins right, single left. One in the backfield behind Dawson. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back, throws downfield. It's going to be overthrown out of the reach of Nair and out of bounds. And that crowd, I'm trying to figure out why we can't get our ambient going, but yelling the mojo, and that's really helping out for the Panther defense. They've got that crowd
Viking
behind them.
Nation could take some notes about from this perennial football powerhouse.
Oh, there we go. I found something there. Now we've got some. I just changed the port for the jack. Here's the punt. It's a nice punt going down the sideline, bounces to 25, rolls to the 20, keeps rolling, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. So that actually does a really nice change of field position. So we're getting all of our technical things fixed up here.
The way Permian's been running the ball instead of passing, I'll be shocked if they can drive down the field in a minute 7.
Yeah. Good point Charlie makes. In 1:07 to go, with mainly a run-oriented offense, which chews up a lot of clock, especially if you don't get out of bounds, it's going to be tough for the Panthers to go 86 yards before halftime.
You don't want to give them too much space, because if they have the space, they'll run.
So Panthers come out now. Looks like a little confusion. Twins left, one right behind Rodriguez, who is the quarterback. Hammond goes in motion, a pitch to him on the far side. He's going to get across the 15, a flag on the play, and now Hammond gets pushed out of bounds finally at about the 41-yard line. And got a holding penalty against the Permian Panthers, and that's going to bring that back.
That's their 2nd holding penalty.
And that
they had that right end. They had the corner.
That may have been what allowed Hammond to get loose over there.
We'll want to say so.
Costly mistake, though, by the Panthers, is now they have the ball 1st down at their own 7-yard line. Hammond goes in motion. It's a handoff up around the right side. Ed Williams, he'll get to the 15-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 8. But that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9. So 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers at their own 15-yard line. Here's a snap right up the middle. the Vikings converge, he'll be stopped at the 24-yard line. So that's going to bring up, now they say the 23-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 6. And now timeout is called.
So they're 4 for 6 on 3rd down.
And I just saw timeouts to Chelsea as timeout Permian. So Permian calls a timeout with 21 seconds to go. They've got 1 timeout left. And they're asking for some time to be put back on the game clock, as you might have heard now that I've got the ambient mic working the right way. 55 seconds.
No, it should be 25.
Yeah. And I thought I heard him say 55, but I think it's got, 25.
25.
You know, some of these West Texas accents, it's hard to tell what they're saying. And some of these,
I resemble that remark.
yeah, you do. And some of these West Texas wrinkles in the shirt, it's hard to know what number it is for sure. But we're getting my mistakes cleared up here, as it is Ed Williams, not Pena, number 27, coming back out in the fullback position or running back behind Rodriguez, who is lined up at quarterback. They're going to have a single right, single left. Big 3rd down here for both teams. 3rd and 6. They need to get to the 24-yard line. Here's the snap. Man in motion. It's a pitch to this side. Oh, that looks like a interesting block. He's going to get out to the 30, to the 27, 28-yard line. So that is a 1st down. The Panthers use their last timeout to stop the clock with 19 seconds to go. That was an interesting kind of barrel rolled block low that one of the Panthers did on on James Douglas to help keep him from making a stop.
That's that option where they bring the wide receiver around, they fake it up the middle, around the option, and then that wide receiver is coming out blocking the cornerback up there.
Exactly right.
Opening up that.
Good job painting that picture, Steve. Well, 19 seconds to go in the 1st half. The Vikings lead 21-7. The Panthers are going to have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line after getting that 1st down.
Now the Panthers have actually 8 first downs. Now that'll make that one 9.
All right, now both teams coming back out onto the field. Looks like number 6, Tyler Ramage, is going to be in a just outside the line of scrimmage in a receiver slot, 2 in the backfield. Hammond goes in motion. It's a pitch to Hammond. It's a flea flicker. He's wanting to pass now. He's going to run, but he'll be stopped at the the 27-yard line. And a loss of 1 yard. Yeah, they were designed, and they've done that with some success this season. In fact, they scored a big touchdown play against Amarillo Tascosa. And that's going to be the end of the 1st half with the score, Lamar 21, Permian 7. Steve?
Good stop by Russell Hunt on that. He didn't allow him to go to the field and make these runs.
Yeah, go ahead. It's all right. He was really a headhunter there.
Stayed at home.
To use that
Yeah,
name.
he stayed
Yeah,
at home.
Justin, good point. Stayed at home and watched for his lane, so to
So
speak.
you have a tale of 2 quarters. First quarter is definitely the Vikings quarter. But the Panthers came back in that second quarter, dominated the ball, dominated the line of scrimmage, dominated the clock, and only came up with 7 points.
2 sustained drive. And what was the one with the missed field goal? 17 plays.
17 plays.
And then the field goal attempt that was no good from 25 yards out. Well, Lamar, being the visiting team, is going to have their band come out first. I'm going to turn down our mics. We'll turn up the ambient so y'all can hear the bands. You can see the time on the clock up there. So in about 25 minutes or so, we'll come back and get warmed up for the 2nd half. With Charlie Frawley and David Frawley and Justin Langford on stats and spotting. With Steve Langford on the color, I'm Bill Frawley. Thank you, Jay Ryan, our executive producer. We'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, for future reference, the flea flicker is whenever it's passed back to the quarterback.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
It was a wide receiver.
Yeah. No, you got me. Thank you for pointing that out.
So who do we go to check stats?
Let's see, let me get this sound right. We have always gone kind of next door at Craven's. We can go down and find, and those are the coaches. We can go down and try to find
Testing.
Can you hear it now?
Say something.
Something. Can you hear it now?
Testing. There's a delay. Yeah, I can still hear you.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Maybe
It could be through
ambient.
glass though.
Well, yeah, but then I lose the ambient also, I think.
I can hear the ambient units.
All right, can you hear us now? This is weird because we've never had this issue before. That was weird. I'm trying to troubleshoot, but I can't.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
So what's,
Now what? Can you hear me
So-
now? Testing 1 2 3.
Yeah, I still hear you.
What to do?
I can hear the ambient units.
Can you hear us though?
Yes.
Well, all I heard was I can hear. Put something over the mic or something. Or let's just go out here. If y'all don't want to be heard, you'll have to move away because I'm not coming.
Thank you.
Turn the camera down. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
put the camera on.
On the band, yeah.
Zoom
Because
out. You need to zoom
I
out.
did, because I couldn't risk still hearing us, David. That's what I was asking earlier, and y'all were looking at me like,
Zoom out.
you can hear me now? You shouldn't be, can you hear us? If you can hear us now, it's through the ambient then. Can you hear us?
There you go, that's good. Now can you hear the ambient?
Except it looks like the villain's back in.
We need to get some ambient.
Yeah, we're hearing through the ambient.
You can't hear it?
Yeah, we can still hear it.
I would turn it off.
Right. I can't hear it. And also, there's the ambient there, so I would turn the ambient down.
So here it is.
This is what I just showed them. Testing. Are you sure you can hear us through your phone without some chance? This has never happened. That's what's confusing me. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can still hear it.
how can you hear it? I mean, there were no mics hooked up.
Yes.
The power's off.
You turn the power.
Testing, testing. Are you still there? Are you listening? Are you listening to the webcast? I'm trying to see if you can tell me if you can hear this through the web.
Ambience on.
Check 1, 2, 3. Check.
I can't hear you.
Oh. The ambient is up right now.
Yes.
I wonder if it was a microphone. I wonder if it was a microphone on the computer. Check 1, 2. welcome back to the broadcast. Now, we understand you could hear a lot of our technical troubleshooting going on. We have a new computer we've not used on our broadcast before, and it apparently has an external mic on it that we couldn't get muted. So we apologize for the extra banter.
Welcome to the booth.
Welcome to the life of troubleshooting on broadcast. I've had a variety of challenges over the years in baseball and football for Lamar, but that was a new one when we couldn't keep ourselves from being heard. But fortunately, we're all pretty good guys, and no one said anything bad. We were just getting a little frustrated, and primarily me at times. So, but anyway, we are back, and so we've got just less than a minute left on the clock. The teams are lined up to come out on the field again. Gonna do one thing. Permian was playing the Hawaii 5-0 theme song. And that through the years, at least since the 70s, has become their playoff theme song, if you will. Back in the 70s, when they first started doing that, you had to go 5-0 in the playoffs because there were 5 rounds to win a state championship. And Hawaii 5-0 was a pretty popular TV show, and that music is real uplifting. So they've adopted that 5-0 as their playoff theme song. And so they did that at the conclusion of their halftime. And don't be surprised later on in the game, especially if it's a close game and they're having to mount a comeback, if you don't hear the crowd chanting 5-0, 5-0. So that's what that's about.
You want to explain Mojo? For those out there who might not know?
Yeah, Mojo, there's a variety of explanations for how that came about. There's one story goes that it was just kind of like, hey, the team really got its mojo on or needed to get its mojo on to win that game, and that started it. One of the more interesting versions is that a fan who had had quite a bit of liquid encouragement, to put it one way, was trying to maybe either say they need some more juice or just saying mojo, mo what, and so that's how it got started. There's at least 1 or 2 other stories out there, possible explanations as to how it came about, but it has become their mystique of mojo overall through the years.
So let's do a quick recap of the first half again. As I said, it was a tale of 2 quarters. Permian had 6 drives. The first one ended in a punt, the second one in a fumble, the third one in a fumble. Fourth one, that long drive, ended in a missed field goal. Then they went, ended in a TD, and then the end of the half. Lamar also had 6 drives. First one for a TD, the second one ended in an interception, 2 more touchdowns, and then back-to-back punts. Permian has 9 first downs, Lamar 4 unofficially. Permian is 4 of 7 on their 3rd down attempts, Lamar 4 of 8. Permian lost 2 fumbles, has 20 yards in penalties. And there's the kickoff, going back inside.
Oh, it bounces around at the 10-yard, picked up by Shawner back at the 8-yard line. Now he goes all the way across the other edge of the field, across the 10 to the 14-yard line. Wow, that was an interesting little thing where he was letting it bounce at first.
Did he think it was going in the end zone, I wonder?
I think he either thought it was going to go out of bounds or in the end zone because it was kicked to this corner. And Justin, you're kind of giving a head nod, yeah, that's probably what happened.
And they turned around, watched it, and said, "Oh, there it is."
Bounce right back to him.
That's good, and he got it. Let's go for it. So let's see what the second half brings.
So, and just a fair warning to everyone here in the booth, everyone can be heard because we can't get the external mic on this laptop turned off.
So Charlie, just keep making your comments.
Panthers 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line up the middle for only about 2 yards that time, and that's going to be Ed Williams. It takes the ball across the 15 to the 16-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers.
Well, everything they run runs off up the middle, so they've got to make Lamar stop that before they go elsewhere.
On 2nd and 8,
ooh,
it's going to be number 20 around to the far side. That's going to be Easton Hernandez takes the ball.
Eric Williams was chasing him. He's a big old boy, but he was sure pushing him. No gain, so it's 3rd down.
I want to say hello to David Yoakum, listening to us from a family gathering out in Arkansas. Let us know that he's listening. Thanks a lot. 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers. Single right, single left on the far hash mark. Man in motion. As a pitch to the far side, it's going to be Hammond. He's got somewhere to get out to the outside, and he's going to get to about the 18-yard line. So he had to string that out. James Douglas chased him out of bounds. He tried to cut it up once, nowhere to go, and then had to go all the way to the sideline before James Douglas took him out.
Gain of 2. It's 4th down from the 18-yard line. So the Vikings come out with a strong defensive stand.
3 and out, and especially with the Panthers starting back at their own end of the field. Well, not a 3 and out. I guess they got a 1.
No, it's a 3 and out.
That's right.
Fair catch at the
Sean Gaddy.
41-yard line.
Yep. So the Vikings will take over. That's as good as receiving the opening kickoff in the second half, because less than a minute taken off the clock, and the Vikings will have the ball in good field position at their own 41-yard line. So there's a kind of a question answered to a certain degree. How is the Lamar defense going to respond to that running offense of the Panthers? And they held them to that 3 and out.
They did. They shut down the middle and then were able to hold the edge.
Twins right, single left, one in the backfield with Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson keeps it on a sweep this way. He's across the 40 to the 42, tucks his shoulder, gets out to the 44-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard gain. That'll put the Vikings at 2nd down and 7. That looked like a design keeper all the way.
He had to pretend to throw or fake a handoff. He was running the whole way to the left.
He also looked like a running back laying a hit on that defender.
He really did look like a running back, Charlie.
Shoulder, didn't he?
Good point. Twins right, single left, one in the backfield. Dawson steps back to throw, goes to the far sideline, off the hands of Cam Brady. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Vikings. Well, now the Vikings have a chance to avoid a 3 and out. You say 4 of 8 on 3rd downs?
But they had, in their drives, they didn't have a lot of need.
So twins right, single left. Williams behind Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back to throw. He's got some pressure. He's being chased, dumps it off, and it's incomplete. Oh, and that looks like that could almost be a late hit or unnecessary hit, but it wasn't. And not on Dawson, but he did get hit also. But Williams took a hit.
David Martinez came out flat in number 6.
Well, now the two teams trade 3 outs, and Dawson's still shaking off a little bit of pain from that hit he took after he got rid of the ball.
It's like both teams came out ready to play with some good
Definitely on defense.
halftime coaching to shut down what was working before.
So Dawson set to punt, it looks like. Here's a snap. He gets it away. It's a pretty good punt that bounces at the 28, picked up and knelt down
17.
by Chase Dell back at the 17-yard line. So that's where the Panthers will take over, pretty much where they got rid of it a little while ago, back at their own 17-yard line.
Both teams came out with a 3 and out for their opening possession. Let's see who can get started here.
Oh, but there's a penalty flag on the play. So it was a holding call on the Vikings on the punt, and so they're going to have to re-kick that ball. The Panthers say, hey, move it back 10 yards, kick it again. We might get a return out of this thing. Definitely probably better field position.
Well, that's the first accepted penalty against the Vikings.
Well, that makes the coaches very happy, because that's one element of the game that you can pretty much control. The Vikings have played a good, clean game. That's a good observation, first penalty. So now the ball is going to be put back at the 34-yard line. 4th down and 17. But more importantly, here comes another punt from the Vikings. Stell is deep, standing at his own 30-yard line for the Panthers. Sean Gaddy comes in motion. Here's the snap. Oh, someone got a piece of it and rolls at the 40-yard line. It's picked up by Shawner at the 40 to the 35, and he'll get tackled at the 32. And Dawson definitely got some pressure there. Someone got a piece of it. Christian Shawner picked up the ball loose over there at the far hash mark and ran about 7 or 8 yards before he got tackled. at the 33-yard line. So now the Panthers,
Great position.
so that penalty very costly.
They moved from the started on their own 17 to
Viking
Vikings
33.
That's quite a.
It's a big change in field position for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
Time for the defense to step up.
the Panthers come out with twins right, nobody left. Ed Williams behind Rodriguez, it looks like. Quarterback's going to get sacked back behind the line of scrimmage. He looked like he was going to try to pitch it to Hammond.
He was trying to pass. He faked the pitch. He was looking downfield. He's lucky.
James
He didn't lose that ball.
James Douglas was leading the effort there, and Jacob Erickson came in on defense to help out to
That was
seal the deal.
Rodriguez back as quarterback. Rodriguez again.
So a loss of 3 yards on that play, 2nd and 13 for the Panthers at the Viking 36-yard line. And there's a flag for an early jump by the offensive line for the Panthers. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 18. And that's only 5 yards, but that's kind of costly because now it's 2nd and 13 instead of 2nd and 8. And you're behind the chains.
The Viking down lineman shifted and caused one of the. And that shift.
Or excuse me, it would have been 2nd and 8. It would have been 2nd and about 13. 2nd and 18 instead of 2nd and 13 because of the sack. So the line to get, the Panthers need to get to the 23-yard line. So listen for that if they get a big play here. Here's the snap. Rodriguez, it's a pitch, reverse coming this way. Now he was looking to throw. He's going to keep it across the 30, 25, 20, and he'll get to the 14-yard line, 11, let's see, the 16-yard line. And that was number 13 for the Panthers. It took that Mason Sellers.
James Grando had him, and he just got outrun.
Wow, that was a nice reverse pitch play there by the Panthers. So now the Panthers set up with a 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line in Viking territory.
Sweep again.
That's Hammond across the 15, 10, 5, and he's in for a touchdown. Nope, they're saying he stepped out of bounds at the 8. The little wall between the little beam between us and the coach's booth blocked my view of the official there. So actually, he only got to the 8-yard line. So a 1 yard,
7 yards,
7-yard gain, 8 yards maybe. So it's 2nd down and 2.
The Bluebirds came up. What happened to that?
Here's the snap. He gets to the 5-yard line, so that'll be a 1st down now. Ed Williams was the ball carrier on the handoff. He got to the 5-yard line, so now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Panthers at the Viking 5. That 21-7 lead, in danger of getting cut down now.
They're coming off that right tackle in big 72.
You can hear the mojo chant by the Panthers. Here's the snap. It's a pitch, number 39. He's out to the edge to the 5, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. That was number 39 that took that ball. That's Caden Harrell. Well, that was a big change of possessions and a couple of costly, or at least one costly penalty for the Vikings. It changed that whole punting situation. And now Carson Roberts on to try the extra point. This lead just about to be cut in half unless something happens here. Kick is up, it's good. And now it's 21-14 in favor of the Vikings.
Looks to me like Lamar needs to start getting a little bit creative on offense. They need to eat up the clock, but they also need to keep Permian guessing.
Yeah, that's a good point, Charlie. Some creativity on offense would help out to keep the Panthers on their toes, but you got to eat up that clock.
One of the Vikings' strength is their passing game. They've gone away from that. So what do we have? 5 plays, 5, all of which were runs for 33 yards, touchdown. And they're getting to that corner now with that sweep.
And just as a reminder, some are curious why we're not showing the actual game. It's a Friday, and UIL rules in Texas that governs high school football and activities. You're not allowed to show live video of a football game on a Friday, even in the playoffs. So that's why we're bringing you audio and scoreboard only. that was an interesting start to the third quarter with a couple of 3-and-outs, a punt, a block punt, a penalty, and
there you go.
And now it's 21-14 in favor of the Vikings. They're about to receive a kickoff. We've got Deshaun Gaddy and Jordan Williams deep at their own 16-yard line.
Vikings haven't scored since the first quarter.
That's true. Carson Roberts comes up to the ball, kicks it kind of shallow. Gaddy's going to receive it at the 9-yard line. He comes across the 10, 15, 20. Bounces off a guy to the 24-yard line. So didn't fair catch it. Only lost the opportunity for 1 yard there at least. And the Vikings now will come out 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
So there's definitely some energy on the Panthers side of the ball. Let's see if the Vikings can
Yeah, I have to
respond.
say, momentum has swung definitely toward the Panthers here in the third quarter. Like you said earlier, the Vikings haven't scored since the first quarter. 8:26 to go in the third quarter. The Vikings have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Williams around this end across 25 to the 30. He does a half a spin move, and he gets to the 31-yard line. 30, well, just this side of the 30-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and a short 4 or a long 3. I'm going to call it a short 4.
Davis was the man in motion that time. He came around and led with some blocking there.
Yep, Cedric Davis did a great job there. Twins right, single left, 2 in the backfield. Here's a snap. Dawson throws across to the other side and just out of the...
You know what? I'm wondering if they're looking back in that center because neither was...
It didn't look like either one was really ready for it. Cam Brady wasn't ready for that, and it went between them.
They were surprised when it came through.
Went between Brady and West to the far side. Shawner, the defender over there, number 5, he didn't even really see it, I don't think, and make a break for the interception. 3rd down and a short 4 for the Vikings. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, throws. It's caught by Cedric Davis for the 1st down. He gets out to the 40-yard line, and that's a big, let's call that a almost 10-yard gain. Out to the 11 yards, out to the 41-yard line. So a big 3rd down conversion for the Vikings. Dawson was starting to get a little bit of pressure. We got to get some of these offensive linemen's names here because they are doing a great job. Here's a snap. Dawson keeps it around the far end. Now he cuts up across the 42 to the 43-yard line. 2-yard gain for Dawson. We got 2nd down and 8. 7:17 to go in the third quarter. The Vikings trying to sustain a drive here, hopefully to get a touchdown to extend this lead back to 14 points.
So, is that a Thule to whom now?
There you go. We just call him Thule sometimes.
Thule, all right, yeah. There you go. So
there he goes by Thule.
Connor Lowen.
All right. Twins left, single right, 2 in the backfield with Dawson. Here's a snap. It's a zone read. Dawson keeps it around the far end, across the 45 to the 50. 1st down to the 45-yard line. Beautiful zone read. Now, there's a flag late. Some Panthers are clapping.
Flags on the 45. Looks like they're going to call a hold.
Let's see what they show here. Okay, so it's holding against the offense. That's the Vikings. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So the ball is going to come back to the Vikings 45-yard line. The gain and the block were back at the other 45.
That flag came from the far back judge.
So now it's going to be 2nd down and 6. The Vikings have to get just between the 50 and 49-yard line in Permian territory.
Nelson had done a good job with the run.
Great job.
Setting up blocks.
Here's the snap. Dawson throws to the far sideline and in and out of the hands of Trevon West, and he takes a shot. And now that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5.5. A long 5 or a short 6, however you want to look at, but it's 5.5 yards to get the 1st down.
1 for 2 this half. Our wide receivers aren't helping us.
Well, the Permian crowd that is pretty plentiful here has got the mojo chant going. Here's Dawson, steps back. He's got some pressure, throws deep. Oh, and yes, they got tangled up. The flag is on the player. It was intended for Nair, number 29 for the Panthers. Rakib Adamai.
It was non-catchable, but he got the call.
Well, there was
the coaches out there complaining.
There was some contact early before, as the ball was in the air. Then they got tangled up. Now that is kind of a questionable call. Was it uncatchable because they were tangled up, or was it uncatchable anyway? But
it was called.
So now the Permian players, coaches, and fans not happy about that at all. But that extends the drive for the Vikings. 1st and 10
and
at the 40.
That's too big a.
Here's a snap. Dawson hands it off to Williams. Comes his way to the 35, 30, 25. There's a flag.
Get in the back. Same ref.
So now Williams does make it to the 14, but there is a flag on the play, and it's going to be holding against the Vikings again. Now that's going to be from the spot of the foul. The spot of the foul was the 32. So they'll move 10 yards back from there. Excuse me, the 28. My bad. I was counting on the wrong side. 29. So now the ball is at the 39-yard line, and this is a rare 1st and 9 situation. So it's a 10-yard penalty officially, but after that game, it's interesting. Downfield hold. Yeah, David points out he just held on a little too late. Twins right. Here's the snap. It's Williams up the middle of the right guard. He'll get to the 37-yard line. And it's getting a little chippy out there now between some of the players. Some of the Permian players are taking out their frustration from the ref on the Viking players. But there's definitely some hard contact. Nothing really egregious, but they are starting to feel some frustration.
Permian fans with their mojo spirit are kind of encouraging. They've kind of disagreed and expressed that disagreement.
All right, 2nd down and 7 for the Vikings at the 37. They got to get to the 30-yard line. Here's the snap. Pressure. Dawson throws. It's caught by Trayvon West. Oh, my goodness. How did he catch that ball at the 10? No, the 11-yard line. Wow. Oh, no. And who is down on the ground for the Vikings?
60.
Right. It's number 60. Oh, John Fryer. Man, he is a talented offensive lineman.
Yep.
Grabbing his right knee.
Ouch. He's part of that group, and they've been protecting.
They've been in the trenches making some of these things possible because the Panthers have been bringing pressure, especially this third quarter.
That's right. Dawson released that ball before Trayvon had made his turn. Turned it, and Trayvon just happened to look up, and there it was. And he just snatched it out of there.
He reached out and grabbed that thing. That was a heck of a catch, heck of a play. Fryer is walking off under his own power. That's a good thing to see. He is limping, but not having to be assisted. So hopefully he'll be able to get that little twinge taken care of. That's a heck of a ball player right there, Fryer. We've called his name multiple times every game this season.
Looks like maybe Graham Eads is coming in.
That could be.
68.
Well, this is going to set the Vikings up now. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line in Permian territory. A shout out to Kim Moyers. Had a player graduate a year ago. She's letting us know that she's listening in. All right, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. For the Vikings at the Panther 11-yard line. We've got twins right, single left. Changing the play now. Williams behind Dawson. Here's the snap. Handoff to Williams up the middle, across the 10 to the 5 to the 4-yard line.
Yeah.
He picks up about 7 yards there.
Linebacker had him dead in his sights. And he just did that little twist.
I'm asking David if I can use a spin cycle term.
Yeah.
He definitely had a spin move there.
He spun, and boy, the direct hit and gained an extra 3 yards. 2nd down.
All right, 2nd down and 3 at the 4-yard line. They can get a 1st down at the 1. Here's the snap. Dawson keeps it on the zone read, and he'll get stuck behind the line of scrimmage back at the 8.
What they had done is
Loss of 4 yards.
They brought everybody up to stick every gap, forcing Dawson to have to take the read, and then they had someone spying on him.
The clock is rolling. If you're looking at a phone or device, you can see it's down to 4:06. If you're just listening, coming up on 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Vikings lead 21-14, trying to get some points here. They've got to get to the 1 yard line for a first down. Dawson has the ball. He throws across the middle. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Williams catches the ball in the end zone. And now there's a player down for the Panthers. And could you see what happened? Was it something after the play? Or, okay.
Touchdown, single.
So Jordan Williams makes that catch.
They were rolling right. Dawson just stopped.
It was number 47 for Permian that was slower getting up. That's Tanner Adams. He's one of their valuable defenders. Garcia out to try the extra point. Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's good.
It's good.
Just inside the right upright. Well, now
that was a good answer. That was a good drive, good ball control.
You know, that's true, Steve. Very good point to make that after the Panthers had their long sustained drive and scored, well, after the flips of the field and so on, it really wasn't that long of a drive after they got the ball after the block punt, but true. But so the Vikings did have a sustained drive, and now with 3:50 to go in the third quarter, the Vikings lead 28-14.
So that was a 74-yard drive, 10 plays, 76-yard drive, 10 plays, a touchdown. Ending in that touchdown. Impressive.
Yes, it is.
Another great throw and catch.
Oh, definitely so, Charlie.
Yeah, Dawson was rolling to the right and just stopped and found
Jordan Williams right in the middle of the end zone.
He just sat down in that zone.
All right, well, Blake Ford set to kick it off. Chase Dell deep at his own 9 or 10 yard line. And Blake Ford comes up to the ball, kicks it down the middle of the field. Dell's going to catch it at the 10, and he calls a fair catch this time. That'll put the ball at the 25-yard line. You know, he wasn't being covered too tightly, but instead of taking the chance of getting 15 yards on that return, he says, you know what, fair catch it. We'll start first and 10 at the 25-yard line.
You know, that's turned out to be a fairly good play.
Yeah. Well, definitely good for the Vikings that they got that touchdown because it puts the lead back at 14 points, and we're getting toward the end of the third quarter with 3:49 to go. So now we've got to see if the Viking defense can stand up to this Panther offense who seems motivated here in the second half. Single right, single left. Man in motion. Hammond takes a snap across the 35, 40, 45, 50, 40, 30. Deshaun Gaddy grabs him at the 10-yard line. He tried to swipe the ball out as he grabbed him. Deshaun Gaddy makes the touchdown-saving tackle at the 8-yard line. Wow. Hammond takes the snap up the middle.
65 yards.
Wow, what a play, but what pursuit by Deshaun Gaddy, who did not give up, and he accelerated with the speed he has and tackled him at the end. And I saw when he came through, he moved his arm to try to swipe him down. Now Rodriguez back at quarterback for the Panthers, twins right. Rodriguez fakes a pitch. Now he throws to the corner of the end zone.
Touchdown.
And that is signaled as a touchdown. There was some contact for the Viking defense. Now the Panther looks like he's slow getting up, or maybe he's just excited. And that's Hammond who made that catch. And he is gimping a little bit, favoring his right knee. And one of his teammates was picking him up to actually carry him, as you'd see a groom carry a bride over the threshold. But now Hammond is running a little bit faster now, so hopefully no serious injury for him. Carson Roberts on to try the extra point. Wow.
75 yards, 2 plays.
Talk about your quick response. All right, out to try the extra point. Carson Roberts. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, splits the uprights. We're back to a 7-point game just like that. 28-21.
Yeah. Anytime they put Hammond back there in that quarterback position, it's a design run for him somewhere. That was a quarterback draw with him. Good blocking, opened up off of the right guard.
Steve, how far do you think we can see off into the distance?
Oh my goodness. Good 20 miles plus to the ridge, and then it drops off.
There you go.
West Texas. We're staring down Ambler Avenue that turns into the highway to Albany. See big wind turbines out on that ridge.
Yes, sir. Well, teams are back on the field now. Panthers first had the ball. They were going to tee it up, it looked like at the far hash mark. Now they put it right in the middle of the field on the 40-yard line. Deshaun Gaddy, Jordan Williams deep for the Vikings back at their own 15-yard line.
Permian certainly hasn't given up the fight.
No, they haven't, and that's what I talked about early in the pregame. They have that stamina. They play a full 4 quarters, and there's that mojo mystique you got to watch out for. Here's the kick. It's a pooch kick to this sideline. Fair catch is called for by number 82, Matthew Licious.
Good play on his part.
He catches
the 36.
The 36-yard line. He had to run up on that. That was a good heads-up play and sure hands also.
And he was fair catching it the whole way.
Smart move, heads-up play. So the Vikings have good field position to start this drive. 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Yeah, that's part of a good hands team.
Sounds like you're doing an insurance commercial. Twins right, single left. Williams in the backfield behind Dawson. It's a handoff to Williams around this end. 35, he'll get pushed out at the 38-yard line. So a gain of about 2 yards.
Number 21, Armstrong, outside linebacker, pushed him out.
Keaton Armstrong for the Panthers. Yes, sir. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Vikings at their own 38. They got to get to the 46-yard line for a 1st down. All right, they're looking for the play from the sideline. Trayvon West is lined up far split to the right. Nair is on this side. Here's the snap. Dawson rolls right. He's looking downfield. Now he's going to have to run because he's under pressure. He's going to take a sack back at the 30. See, they're going to mark it at the 33, I believe, is his forward progress before he got pushed back. That's going to hurt because that loses about 5 yards and brings up 3rd down and 13.
Tanner Adams, their leading tackler, just added to his numbers.
Yeah, there was nowhere to throw that ball, so a coverage type sack there. And then he was trying to find a way to get out of trouble. He looked like he might have had a way out over if he had kept going to the far edge, but he came back toward the middle. 3rd down and 13. Here's the snap. It's Williams up to the left side across the 40, 45, still on his feet. 1st down to the 50-yard line. Jordan Williams pushes his way forward, and that's a huge conversion.
That's his best run.
That's a gain of 17 yards. No, I was just gutting it up the middle and running and accelerating. Wow, big conversion on 3rd down. And that keeps the Vikings going 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. We'll call it their own 50 as the ball is just on that edge. Here's the snap. Dawson hands off to Williams to the far side. 50, 45. He's got room 40, 35. Now there's 2 flags on the play back around the line of scrimmage. It's probably going to be holding or a block in the back. We'll see what they call. It is holding on the offense. Let's see where the spot of the foul was this time, because we've had some holding downfield at times. That was close to the line of scrimmage. So after the penalty, the ball is put back in Viking territory at the 43-yard line. So it equates to, it's a 10-yard penalty, but a loss of 7 yards basically, because now it's 1st and 17.
Not a loss of them.
That's true.
That's the good news.
That is the best part of it. Twins right, single left. Williams behind Dawson. Here's the quarterback. Here's the snap. Williams bounces off the line of scrimmage, tries to go left, has nowhere to go, and that'll be no gain back out to the 43. And now a penalty flag after the play that goes straight up in the air. And I've heard from
Marker Terry made the defensive stop. But he came up yapping. And
it looks like the officials are going to try to stop some of this chippiness before it gets out of hand. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, and against number 57 for the Vikings. That's Deontay Hester. Wow. So that's 15 yards after the no gain on the play. Steve, that's going to set up second down and call Uber because the Vikings have the ball back at their own 28-yard line. They have to get to the other 40. Second down and 32 yards to go.
Coach Fuller did a great job blocking on back-to-back plays, getting people's legs.
Oh, good point. David just made Colt Fuller doing a good job of blocking on back-to-back plays there, in case you couldn't hear him. So thanks, David, for catching that on your spotter duties. All right, twins right, single left. Here's the snap. Dawson's back, has some pressure, throws across the middle, and it's intercepted at the 45. He'll take it back to the 40, to the 37. And that's going to be number 47, Tanner Adams, who intercepted that ball. Wow, big change of things here on this drive. Well, there's two things that will kill you in baseball. That's errors and walks. And in football, it's turnovers and penalties. We had both on that drive. Massive penalties, and then the interception.
35 yards in penalties.
Just on that drive.
Yes. Knocking out 2 first downs.
So here, and one of them, of course, being that dead ball unsportsmanlike, which, again, we talked earlier about things you can control. All right, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. It's the Viking 36-yard line. Single left, single right. Man in motion. Rodriguez hands it off to Hammond. He goes around the end to the 35, cuts into the 31-yard line. So he looked like he might be wrapped up, but he gains 5 yards.
He's pretty shifty. He had him at the line of scrimmage.
So 2nd down and 5 now for the Panthers at the 31. They've got to get to the 26. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. The Vikings clinging on to a 28-21 lead. But the Panthers are mounting a comeback here. Here's the snap. Hand off to Williams up the middle. He gets over to the 27.5-yard line, shy of the 1st down. Let's see where they spot it exactly. It's going to be 3rd down. 3rd down, 0 for 1 this quarter. 3rd down and 2 for the Panthers. They've got to get to the 26-yard line. The Vikings have got to have a stand here. Single left, single right. Here's the snap. Hand off the middle. Williams, 20, 15, 10, and he gets tripped up at the 11-yard line by Jordan Polk. And then the Panthers have a player down. Oh, that's Ed Williams who's down on the field. Jordan Polk hit him hard and low, cleanly, I'll say. No penalty flag.
But he went low because Williams is such a big man. So he went low, hit him on the thigh.
And just almost complete silence in this stadium right now as the Permian trainers attend to Ed Williams. Now you can hear the Permian crowd chanting, Ed, Ed, Ed. He is on his back, moving his arms. So guessing it's a leg injury just from the way he was hit. Now he's going to attempt to sit up, and he does.
He's up. He's their big leading rusher.
And he's walking off with just really, well, no assistance at all now. Hammond comes over to give him some encouragement and good wishes. So he'll make his way off the sideline. Well, we're glad to see that no one is injured seriously. Again, even though it's a little bit of extra time getting off the field.
Quarterback Hammond. It's a run. Quarterback draw.
Twins left, single right. Hammond takes a snap. He takes it. Now there's a flag on the play, and I think that's going to be false start against the Panthers. That'll cost them 5 yards, and that's 5 yards they don't want to lose because that'll put them behind the chains. All right, so that'll bring up 1st and 15. That'll put the ball at the 16-yard line. So if you're doing the math.
Rodriguez coming in.
Yep, Rodriguez comes back in now. Ed Williams comes back in. So they can get a first down at the 1-yard line. Now they're showing no time on the clock. I can see the coaches next door indicating they think they should be 4 seconds on the clock maybe, but okay, the 4 was going in the 4th quarter. All right. Well, time, I guess, but see, with the dead ball, I would have thought there would still be time on the clock, but that's why I do this and not that.
Why could you bring the players off the field?
Because technically that's a dead ball foul before the snap. It looks like they're just going to say time's expired in the quarter. All right, so we're going to move to the other end of the field. 12 minutes left to play. The Vikings clinging on to a 28-21 lead. And here comes the Hawaii 5-0 music from the Permian Band. Trying to get the crowd and the team amped up, and it's working. All right, the ball's
energy level is not as apparent with the blue and gold across this way.
It is not very high level energy right now on the Lamar side, unfortunately. When play starts here in just a few moments, it'll be 1st and 15 for the Panthers at the Viking 16-yard line. They're going to come out with twins left and a single receiver right. Hammond is set up as the quarterback, Ed Williams behind him.
So expect a run.
Here's the snap. Hammond does go around the far end, and he is stopped at the, well, let's see if it's at the 16-yard line.
Should be a loss of.
I think he's going to have no gain at the 16. They're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. I didn't catch. Did y'all catch who made that stop?
Colin finished him off.
All right, 2nd down and 15 at the 16. That was a big stop by the Vikings on 1st down. I formation, 2 behind Rodriguez. Steps back. Now he's looking for the end zone. He throws, and it's caught by Hammond in traffic, and he holds on to that. Wow, that was a strong, tough catch there. Wow.
One of their first passes had been play action.
Yeah, Justin points out a good fact. One of their first passes that had not been play action. He just stepped back, looked for the receiver, and threw it into traffic and managed to catch that ball. So now
all the Viking needed to do was turn around and
Carson Roberts kicks the extra point. There was some pressure. Deshaun Gaddy tried to come in, but it's good. And now we have a tie ball game. After the Vikings had a 21-0 lead in the 1st quarter, the Panthers have clawed their way back to make it 28-all, and there's still almost the whole 4th quarter to go.
So that started on what, 39? So that would be a 61-yard drive, 5 plays, 4 of which were runs with a TD pass at the end.
Well, another rendition of a round of Hawaii 5-0 after that touchdown drive by the Panther Band, getting their crowd and team even more amped up. The Vikings are going to have to come back with a powerful drive here. They've got to get back into the momentum shift and swing of this game.
They've got to remember who they are. They've played well all season. They have had a high-powered offense. Got to do what they know how to do.
All right,
Now
Deshaun
they've got everybody up for an onside kick.
Gaddy and Caleb Phillips are deep back at the
They've
16.
got 9 men within 10 yards.
The Vikings do have a lot of hands up front. Now they kind of spread out more.
Now they're going back.
Carson Roberts comes back like he's going to do a regular kickoff. The usual 7 yards back and about 4 yards over. Now he approaches the ball. He kicks it pretty deep to the far corner.
Out of bounds, let it go.
And it does go out of bounds. Deshaun Gaddy was over there to make sure it goes out of bounds.
He was going to catch it and be right out of bounds. Now it's on the 30. Going to kick it again.
And that looks, according to the PA announcer, looks like that's what's been decided by the Viking coaches. Instead of taking the ball where they would get it, they're going to have the Panthers re-kick from their own 35-yard line.
You know, the first half was very clean, but both teams now making lots of mistakes.
So now Gaddy and Phillips have moved up to the 20-yard line as deep return men for the Vikings. Carson Roberts puts the ball on the tee on this hash mark, the near hash mark on the 35-yard line.
Makes it harder to kick out of bounds on the far side.
It does, doesn't it? Tell you what, I don't know if I'd be kicking it to Deshaun Gaddy over there. He does have a kick 6 this season. All right, here comes the kick. That's going to come over to Phillips at the 9. He gets out to the 15, to the 20. 25, he takes a hit, and he gets wrapped up at the 22, 27-yard line. So a nice return of about 17 or 18-yard lines.
So let's see what the Vikings can do. This has got checked out.
Caleb Phillips comes out with that return.
They have a nice chance to reset their offensive identity without shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that's what they've got to do. They've got to get back to being who they are.
And
they're letting Permian dictate.
Single left, twins right. One in the backfield. Cam Brady goes in motion. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back. He's looking to the far side. Now he's going to run. He's at the 25 to the 30, and he goes out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So that's only a 2-yard gain. He ran about 20 yards to get it.
So Permian has a spotter that they're keeping on Gaddy. He doesn't do anything but watch Gaddy. If Gaddy takes off, then Dallas State heads out for him.
All right, twins left, single right. One in the backfield behind Dawson. The Panthers showing blitz. They've been pressuring Dawson a lot so far this game, especially in the later part of the game. Caleb Phillips is the running back. Now he moves to the right of Dawson.
That was another coverage.
Here's the snap. It's a zone read. Now Dawson scrambling. He's out to the 25. He throws to an open Cam. Brady catches the ball, and he gets out of bounds at the 48-yard line. That's good for a long first down for the Vikings. And that's good for about 18 yards. So that was a big way to
Dawson could have actually run for that one. But yeah, let's do what we do.
All right. Looks like they're going to set up with twins right. Trayvon West is lined up on this sideline. Cam Brady between him and the ball. Caleb Phillips lined up behind Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back. He's looking to throw. Now he rolls left. Now he's looking to throw to the far sideline. He has a man who catches it. It's there at the 15-yard line. A flag is thrown. I think it's going to be some contact by the defender. He still caught that ball at the 15-yard line.
Justin, do you have Jackson completed?
And then he got 3 more yards after the catch as he spun around to the 12-yard line. I think we know that that flag is going to be defensive pass interference, which will be declined. And here's the official call, pass interference against the Panthers. But you know what's more important than that pass interference? That was a heck of a pass and catch by Dawson and Nair teaming up again.
Not doing what we do.
Exactly.
And we are.
I like the fact we didn't have to depend on the penalty to get that first down to that big gain. So 2 big pass plays in a row here for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the Panther 12-yard line. Obviously, they can get to the 2 and get a first. Here's the snap. Dawson throws to this side, and it's a little short, intended for Cam Brady at the 1 yard line. Behind and low. Chase Dell was defending. That'll bring up 2nd down and 12. Again, the score, 28-28. 10:51 to go. So still almost all of the fourth quarter. This drive, lots of yardage, but only taking about a minute off the clock.
Well, that's classic Viking football.
Yeah, we've had some drives, 27 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes. So here we go. Twins right, single left.
Long drive.
Phillips is lined up to the right of Dawson. Fuller in motion.
Oh, Dawson keeps it.
Dawson keeps it. He's going to get stopped at the 14-yard line, so he'll lose 2 yards.
3rd down.
This will bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Vikings. The ball is spotted at the left hash mark, so the far hash mark from where we are. You've got twin receivers right. That's West and Brady. Nair lined up far left. Phillips behind Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back. He's looking to pass. Has a receiver.
Oh,
it's intercepted. It's over there, out of the hands. It's intercepted by Shawner. He's at the 30, 40. Don't say it yet. He's going to be, Dawson tries to get him. He's at the 10, 5, and touchdown. Wow. It was out of the hands of the intended receiver, right into the hands of Shawner, Christian Shawner. And he gets a pick 6 running basically the length of the field, about 95 yards in that return. And that now puts the Panthers up on top for the first time today. Holy cow. There goes their Hawaii 5-0 music again. Well, just when it looked like the Vikings had things going their way, back to what they do. Now Carson Roberts set to try the extra point. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up. Man, Deshaun Gaddy almost got one almost again. He's getting closer every time, but that's good. Now the Panthers lead 35-28. Well, the Vikings need to just settle down.
The reason for that pick 6 was because it went through the receiver's hands.
Yeah.
It was a drop pass.
Yeah, nothing on Jack Dawson there.
Yeah. And that's 3 interceptions in this game. It's hard to overcome that many turnovers.
You hate to see him run it back that far, but as the offense, at least you're here to get back on the field and hopefully bounce back quickly.
Yeah, in case you couldn't hear Charlie, I think you can hear him over the external mic on the computer, but yeah, you hate to see him run that thing 95 yards, but now, hey, the Vikings do get to have the offense back on the field and try to set something up. Now we're going to have James Douglas and Deshaun Gaddy deep back inside the 15-yard line. So Gaddy has been deep. The other deep person has now rotated from Jordan Williams to Caleb Phillips and now to James Douglas.
We need some speed.
Well, you've got Cam Brady back on the 41-yard line, so you've got people who can catch and run with the ball all over the field for the Vikings.
There's another dimension that our special teams haven't. Throughout the year, we've always called special teams that scored for us.
Well, the
So far today, we haven't.
The sun has gone down behind the stands. It's still a blue sky sunlight, but the light's in full effect because of the shadow of the press box and stands. Here comes the kick. It's up in the air. It's deep. It's going to be caught by Douglas at his own 7 to the 10. He goes to the far side, 15 to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and he'll get stopped at the 45-yard line by number 10, and that is Braden Rhea of the Panthers. So he had a great return from inside the 10-yard line.
And he caught it on the far right side hash
And went all the way across the field.
Yeah.
Sometimes bounce back opportunities like those are easier to see when you get the ball right back on that pick 6, whereas maybe if it was a sustained drive around maybe those things aren't easy to do.
Good point, Charlie. That is a good chance to bounce back quickly. Twins left. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back. He throws. He's got Trevon West catch at the 34-yard line in Permian territory. 1st and 10. If we can just keep doing this, keep settled down.
Do what we do.
That's it.
Do what we do.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Nice catch by Trevon West. Nice pass by Jack Dawson. Caleb Phillips is going to be the running back in the backfield. Brady and Nair lined up on the far. Twins left.
Well, we see this is going to be a slugfest, and it's turned out to be
Cedric
fun.
Davis in the backfield. Now timeout is called by Permian. They didn't like what they saw offensively. They said, you know what? We better just take a moment and make sure we know what we want to do. That's their first time out of the half.
Just under 10 minutes to play.
Man, I feel nervous right here. I can only imagine what these coaches next to us are feeling, and then I can only imagine what the players are feeling. I mean,
Well,
it's,
the fact that they came back and threw a 20-yard completion,
yes.
the fact that they took a kickoff and ran it back 30 yards.
Throws like Dawson's last one that remind me of another Viking quarterback that wore number 7 not too many years ago that led a nice deep playoff run.
And his name would be?
Shane Michelle.
Yes, indeed.
Mr. Shane.
Now on the team up down in Austin. Gets some playing time every so often this season. Had a great freshman season. All right. Both teams come back out onto the field. We're going to have Trayvon West out wide right, Twins left, 2 in the backfield with Dawson.
Down in the slot.
Here's the snap. Dawson steps back. He's got some pressure. He throws across the middle. Cam Brady catches it up in the air at the 17-yard line. That's one of those classic reach up and grab that with 2 hands
Bring
extended.
it down out of the sky.
Yes, indeed. Now 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 17-yard line. A nice over-the-middle pass by Dawson and a great extension catch by Cam Brady.
They're back to their passing game. Williams in a zone defense, allowing our receivers.
All right,
to get
here's the
there.
snap. Dawson hands off to Cedric Davis across the 15 down to the 12-yard
Just keep
line.
them honest. We're going to run it once.
That's about 5 yards, and that should bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Vikings at the Permian 12-yard line. So that's a good 2nd down situation to have. You only have to get 5. It gives you a couple of options as to what you might want to do. We've got Nair and Brady lined up left. Trayvon West is right. Davis and Phillips in the backfield. Dawson zone read keeps it 10 to the 6. And he gets taken down, but not before he gets to the 6-yard line. And that should be a 1st and goal for the Vikings, and it is.
First down.
Well, that's a nice 6-yard gain. Dawson took a hit there. Nothing bad. He just took a solid hit. Kind of comes up limping just a little bit, but he doesn't want to leave the field. He's just trying to walk that off. 8:45 to go in the game. Clock is rolling.
He's hurt.
He's something with that left ankle or knee. Here's the snap. He steps back, throws to the end zone, and it was behind Nair and the defender who had him.
Did it hit the defender in the back?
No, it bounced before all of them. So now it'll be 2nd down and goal at the 6-yard line. That was a step back, pretty quick throw to the end zone, but too quick and too short. So now Nair again lined up far left, West, and Brady lined up right. Davis is to the left of Dawson. Phillips behind Dawson. Here's the snap. It's to Phillips. He goes left. 5 and touchdown Vikings. Caleb Phillips gets into the end zone. And now it's a 1-point game waiting on the Garcia extra point kick. Or David Frawley, do they go for 2?
No. We're going to kick this up.
We've been joking around for a long time over years, but there's been a lot of 2-point conversions in some pro and college games at interesting times. No, this is definitely lined up. Ooh, Dawson almost slipped a little bit. All right, here's the snap. The hold, the kick is up, and it is good. We have a tie game again, 35 all, 8:29 to go in the game.
52 yards. 5 plays, 3 runs, 53 yards in with a touchdown run by Caleb Phillips, who is, by the way, just a sophomore.
Well, according to Jay Ryan, we have 234 folks listening to us right now. So I want to say hello and thank you to all of you who have tuned in, so to speak, over the internet to catch this broadcast.
We need your help getting some mojo on our defense.
Get our own mojo going.
That's right. We got to stop. The Panthers. Get the ball back. Is this going to be who has the ball last?
It very well could come to that, Steve, the way this game has turned into a track meet in the second half here.
Be interesting to see how much yardage.
Blake Ford tees up the ball just inside the far hash mark. which indicates he may be trying to kick short to the far sideline, but you never know for sure. The Panthers have one deep back at their own 10-yard line, two other guys on the 20. Ford, the freshman kicker, comes up to the ball, kicks it
deep.
fairly short, sort of deep, fair catch at the 10. It was high up in the air, good hang time, and that Permian player, Chase Dell, wisely calls for the fair catch at the 10 because it brings it out to the 25-yard line. So now, an important chance for the Viking defense to come back and do what they do. Try to keep the Panthers offense from doing what they do. Like you say, it's a game of do what you do, keep doing what you do. But again, you know, we came into it statistically two evenly matched teams, and that's what we're seeing once the Panthers got their turnover situation cleared up after the first quarter.
So we're evenly matched. We're at 35-35. That's pretty even.
Yep, harder to get closer than that. Here's the snap. Rodriguez pitches this side, stiff arm,
great
20-25 spin move to the 27-yard line. Looked like he was going to have a chance to wrap up in the backfield. That's number 39 for the Panthers, and that's Caden Horrell.
But James Douglas read that, quickly fought off his block from that cornerback position, and challenged him behind the line of scrimmage. Stiff arm, though, caught him right in the face.
Ball's at the 28-yard line where it's second down and 7.
Okay, there in the middle.
Ed Williams takes it around the left side. He'll get to the 31-yard line. That'll bring up third down and about 4. So big third down for both teams here with the tie scored at 35. 7:45 to go, and the clock is rolling. Mojo chant coming from the Panthers sideline. Single left, single right. Power I formation for the Panthers.
Pick six really nice right now.
Here's Rodriguez. He throws a backward pass to Hammond, who's getting in trouble. He's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be number 22, Russell Hunt, who read that like a book.
Yeah, 4th and 11. That's what we needed.
What a third out. Yes, it is. What a third down stand that was.
All right, now we got some energy from the Vikings.
Wow. And I can see the coaches next door. They're pretty happy about that.
The defensive secondary will not want to stay contained behind the receivers in case they go.
So good point by David there. Secondary is doing his job. All right, Deshaun Gaddy deep at his own 42-yard line. The snap, the punt. Oh, it's close to being blocked, but not. It bounces at the 40. Gaddy
what is he doing?
Didn't even call for the fair catch, and that ball is going to roll another 18 yards to the 22-yard line.
Gaddy could have easily had that as a fair catch.
I don't know if he got distracted by something or not, but now it wasn't the highest punt. I don't know if he had trouble discerning where it was going to actually come down, but ultra-conservative, safe thing. He didn't touch it, and now the Vikings at least have the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Do you remember the Vikings having a 6-minute drive?
No, not this year.
Let's see if we can get a 6-minute drive.
1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's the snap. It's a handoff. Phillips to this side. He'll get to the 24-yard line. That's a gain of 2. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, a hole that got filled by the linebacker.
And as quickly as both of these teams have been able to strike on offense today, I don't think you can think about leaving any time. I think you just need to score quickly and any chance you get.
Yeah, you just got to do your thing. And
Vikings have twins left. That's Nair and Brady. Trevon West on this side. One in the backfield. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back to throw. He's got some time over the middle.
Oh, missed
Oh, wow. Overthrew Cam Brady big time. Unfortunately, that was not in the range of Chase Stell or Rakib Adeyemi for the Panthers. That goes harmlessly incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Vikings at their own 24-yard line. So now another 3rd down play.
Not doing too well with their 3rd down. We're 2 of 7 this half.
Boy, this really kind of a home crowd for the Panthers, yelling Mojo, chanting that. Here's a snap. Dawson steps back. He's looking to throw. He goes over the middle. He's got Nair complete at the 50-yard line. 1st down for the Vikings. No, I think they just collided shoulder to shoulder. And so that's inside Panther territory, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Another great throw and a jump and leap by Nair.
Beautiful catch by Nair.
Wow, huge 3rd down conversion, 1st and 10. Twins left, single right. Dawson had started the signal calling, then he looks over to the sideline. They're changing the play. Plenty of time on the play clock, 18 seconds. Now the snap. He throws to the ball in and out of the hands of Cam Brady. I think Cam Brady might have a little bit of the jitters every so often. Dawson's hit him a couple of times. It could have been caught. Not trying to sound mean or too critical, but been some opportunities.
I've seen more drop passes and through the hands this game than I remember throughout the season.
2nd down and 10 for the Vikings at the Permian 48-yard line. They've got Twins left, single right.
So as you pointed out, Cam has dropped a fair amount of passes there. Coach knows what he can do, giving you the opportunities.
Here's the snap. Dawson steps back, throws. Brady sure hands that one at the 35 and moves forward to the 33. And just like David had said, the coaches are not going to lose confidence in him. They know what he can do. Good point, David. Thank you.
There's another 1st down.
Now that's a big 2nd down conversion, if you will. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Panther 33-yard line. And David, that's a good point. I like how the coaches were ready. Just go back to him again.
Brady's in that slot with the safety playing way off of him. And so he just is running down there.
Twins left, single right.
Here he comes in motion.
Brady in motion. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Caleb Phillips. He'll be wrapped up in the backfield, but it breaks loose to the 30, inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Wow.
He was hit for 2-yard loss and ended up making 4.
He spun around and made
6.
4 yards. 4 yards. So 2nd down and 6 at the 29-yard line. But wow. Big 2nd and even maybe a 3rd effort on that play by Caleb Phillips. Don't know why we haven't seen Jordan Williams here in the 4th quarter that much, if at all. Phillips has been taking a share of the load, but that's a good thing about having the depth that we do.
Well, the size.
That could be part of it, yeah. Twins right, single left. Here's the snap.
Williams
Phillips.
again.
No, it's a zone read, and now behind Cam Brady. Zone read or fake handoff, whichever way you want to do it.
And he had 2 steps on his defender. Cam had 2 steps. Now we're back at 3rd.
Just behind him. 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings. The ball at the Panther 29-yard line. They've got to get to the 23. So listen for the 23-yard line if we start to make some yardage. The Permian crowd yelling and chanting mojo. Twins left, single right. Phillips behind Dawson. 4:11 to go. Here's the snap. Dawson steps back to throw. He's got pressure, and that pass is off to the sideline, out of the reach of Cam Brady.
All-out blitz.
He was getting some big pressure, and that's going to bring up 4th down out of field goal range at the 29-yard line. So the Vikings lining up to go for it. Unless you have some really cool little pooch punt inside the 5, you may as well go for it here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the first 4th down
of the game.
Now, Lamar's done it a lot.
Twins left, single right.
Here we come with that blitz
Dawson
again.
steps back. He throws across the middle. Trayvon West catches it. 1st down to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Yes. Sorry, I was excited there. But holy cow, on 4th and 6, Trayvon West goes across the middle, catches that ball, swings around the far side, breaks 1 tackle, slips through, and gets into the end zone. That puts the Vikings back on top, 41-35.
Like I said, let's just do what we do.
Another great play call when we needed conversion.
Good point, David. Coach Sanders with another great play call when we needed a 4th down conversion.
Extra point is good.
And now the Panthers are trailing by 7. The Vikings up 42-35.
78 yards on 8 plays.
Wow. Nothing short of incredible and nothing short of just continual VFND.
Absolutely. Do what we do. Now defense coming with another 3 and out. The game is in our hands.
Well, you know what's interesting? You know, I see sometimes coaches, especially on the sidelines, getting excited, but the coaches next to us are really pretty well contained as far as excitement. Just even keeled. Is that what you were signaling, Justin?
So we'll carry the excitement.
That's right. That's as excited as I've been all season, I think. But that was huge on fourth down and 6.
We went down 7, and now we've responded with 2 touchdowns.
A big 14-point swing. Good point,
That's
Steve.
right.
Yes, that's momentum, isn't it?
That's momentum, and that's what you do. You don't get defeated. You just come back and do what you do. And that includes the pick 6 against them when they were already.
Yes.
That could have been through.
Yeah, good point.
So,
all right.
Lamar's showing some character.
350's big time. 3:57 to go. Blake Ford has the ball teed up almost to the far hash mark. The deep men are at the 20 for Permian. The ball is kicked deep
to the.
It's going to be caught at the 2-yard line. He brings it out to the 10, the 15, 20, and he'll make it to the 25-yard line. So a little power statement made there, and that's going to be, that's Hammond, number 4.
Happy with runner up. Well, Davis helped him up off the floor.
Yeah, Cedric Davis, number 4, helped up their number 4. So good sportsmanship again, character in another way. All right, now the Panthers come out 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. 3:51 to go.
Now where's the pressure? The pressure's on the Panthers.
Looking at the scoreboard, it looks black. It's not. It's still, it's dusk. Here's a pitch to the far side to Hammond. He's going to get to the 25, 26-yard line. Maybe 27 for 2 yards. So he ran a long ways, but that was mostly going north, not west, as they need to go. Excuse me, west, not north. East, not, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't go north and south.
He wasn't going downfield.
But the Vikings are on to that. They're seeing that, and they're responding better.
Second down and 8 for the Panthers at their own 27-yard line. Twins right. Williams behind Rodriguez. Now Hammond comes out split left. Here's a snap. Rodriguez steps back, throws deep. It's way overthrown. Intercepted by Jordan Pope. He's at the zone 40, and he's going to go ahead and do the same thing and go down to the 42-yard line. Holy cow.
It was for Hammond on the way. Hammond broke off, ran under it, caught it.
I keep flashing some thumbs up signs at the coaches. No, one of them just a little head nod, but they're just so even. They're trying to control their emotion and excitement.
Okay, 3 minutes.
Exactly.
3 minutes.
3:08 to go. That is I'm just going to say that's a mojo moment on our side.
Yeah,
that ball intended for Hammond, and Jordan Pope picked it.
That's a backbreaker.
First and 10 around 42. It's a handoff to Caleb Phillips around the far side to the 45, 50, 45, 40. Still on his feet. 35, 20, 15, 10, 5. He never stepped out of bounds. No flags. Touchdown Vikings. One play drive. Holy cow. I think the Panthers thought they had him wrapped up and out of bounds, and they gave up on it. And he just kept tiptoeing down the sidelines. And I'm double checking, but they're all lining up for the extra point. There is no flag, no mark out of bounds. And it's now 48-35, waiting for that. What a 20, well, not yet. Yes.
A one play. 58 yards.
Alejandro Garcia set to try the extra point. He's perfect on the day, and he stays perfect. It's now 49-35, a 21-point run.
Dawson is noticeably limping. All right.
Well,
so what? Yeah, so they've had 3 unanswered touchdowns.
Yeah.
After that pick 6.
After the pick 6, you know what? I think everyone up here was kind of saying in their own way. They just came back out and they did what they had to do. They didn't let that get them down. I think Charlie put it best at one point. Since that was a pick 6 instead of a long sustained drive, it allowed Lamar to come back out with a new energy. We got the ball. We didn't have to sit there and let them chew up clock and kind of demoralize us with a sustained drive. So, Charlie, that was a key observation, and it came true.
And 21 points.
21 unanswered points.
Demoralizing to Mojo here. We'll see.
But I'll tell you what, with 2:49 to go, we've seen some quick strikes. Nothing is over until that time is off the clock completely. And having gone to Permian, I know there is such a thing as that mojo magic. So we've got to stay alert as Vikings and keep this thing going. But I'm glad the momentum has shifted to our side big time. Blake Ford tees the ball up now on this hash mark. Hammond deep at his own 5. Stell at his 20.
He's going to punch kick it.
He comes up to the ball.
Nope,
It's a short kick to the, high kick, I should say. It bounces at the 15. It's loose. The Vikings come up with the ball. Holy cow, my goodness, what a mental lapse by the receiving team. No, they got it. They did come up with it, but my goodness, they sure dodged a bullet there. I don't know how they got it. But they just watched the ball bounce and roll.
And the Vikings were right there on top of it.
And I thought we had it. The Coach Cam next door thought we had it.
We all thought we had it.
Well, that's going to come back out now. But wow. And that's just another one of those intangible kind of, that's just going to weigh on them also as far as the Permian team. 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line, down by 14. What can they do? Quarterback rolls to this side. It's a catch by Hammond at 21. He's pushed out of bounds by Deshaun Gaddy.
23.
With some authority at the 23-yard line.
Now they're going to go to something that's not their strength. They're going to start throwing the ball.
Yep. So here's the situation. 2:44 to go. The Panthers have 2 timeouts left. Twins right. Twins left. Williams in the backfield. Rodriguez steps back, throws to this side. Is caught by number 13, but stopped by Jordan Polk immediately. So that number 13 is Mason Sellers. Yep, but Jordan Polk stopped him, and they did get a first down, but the clock is rolling, and there was no extra gain after the catch. 1st and 10 at the 29. Rodriguez rolls right. He's looking to throw. He does. It's caught at the 40. That's a first down, but it's tackled immediately by Russell Hunt, I believe. No, I'm sorry, number 20, Jalen Nobles. So now it's 1st and 10 again for the Panthers at their own 40, but 2:17 to go. They've got to get just across midfield for a first down. Here's the snap. Rodriguez steps back to throw. He throws to this sideline, and it's out of the reach of number 39, and that is Caden Harrell. So now it stops the clock, but it's 2nd down and 10 at the 40.5-yard line. The Panthers need to get just across the 50, between the 50 and 49 in Viking territory for a first down. Twins left, single right. Here's the snap. Rodriguez rolls this side again. Open Hammond out of his hands. Whoa. I don't know if that had just a little extra juice on it or what, but Hammond could not bring that in. It was thrown right at the perfect spot. And now that brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers. So now they're in a bind.
From his linebacker position was putting a little pressure.
2:01 to go. The clock stops on the incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers. The Vikings standing up tough right now. Twins left, single right. Rodriguez steps back. He throws across the middle. It's complete to Hammond, but Deshaun Gaddy stops him short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down and about 18 inches to go. Deshaun Gaddy made a great stop there to keep it from being a first down. It was a complete pass to Hammond, but Gaddy does his part. 4th down and 18 inches. Half a yard. Here it is. Rodriguez hands it off to Williams. He's across to the 35, 34-yard line, so way more than enough for the first down. And that puts the ball just off the 44-yard line, between the 44 and 45, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. But now the clock down to 1:29, and they're in a bind because they can't use their timeouts yet. Twins left, single right. Williams in the backfield. Rodriguez rolls this way. He throws to the corner. Oh, wow. It was incomplete. It was intended for number 13, Mason Sellers. Jordan Polk was over there. There was, I guess you just call it hand fighting, but it kind of was going both ways. Polk definitely trying to make a play for the ball, so a good no call there.
Hands were definitely up in the air going for the ball, definitely not at the player. So
Yeah.
It's a good, clean play on both sides.
Good point, Charlie. Hands definitely going up for the ball, not at the player. 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers at the Viking 44-yard line. 1:17 to go. Rodriguez steps back. No, it's another quarterback. And that was intended for number 13 again. And that time, that was Jordan Polk again.
Polk was on his back again.
That's 26.
Was that 26? Okay, sorry about that. So it was Rodriguez at quarterback again. Thanks, Justin. Sometimes those numbers are bent over, and I can't tell if it's a different number or not. I thought it was a 30-something. So now it's 3rd and 10. Here comes the Hawaii 5-0 music from the Permian band.
36 is quarterback.
No, it is?
Oh,
Okay, it's caught at the 40, 35, 30, 25. He'll be wrestled down at the 22-yard line. Yeah, see, that's what got me. That the front numbers are wrinkling up some. So it was a completion there. He stopped at the 22-yard line. At a minute 4 to go, they stopped the clock to move the chains. 1st and 10. They've got to get to the 12-yard line for a first down. Here's the snap. Rodriguez rolls this way. He throws deep to the end zone. Polk knocks it down. And again, they keep testing Jordan Polk, going for Mason Sellers. He almost had a pick there. But
he was in position, but he chose to knock it down. But they've got to go for the end zone.
Now 50 seconds to go. The Vikings with a 14-point lead. The Panthers trying to knock on the door here and get some points. Here's the snap. Rodriguez rolls this way. A wide open Hammonds catches the ball to 16, gets to the 14, maybe the 13. Let's see where they mark this down. It looks like they're going to mark it at the 14-yard line.
This one, Kenny was breaking through.
And Permian must have called a timeout. Oh, he got out of bounds. My bad. Yeah. So 45 seconds to go.
Well, but, didn't get called.
Third, now there is a timeout called by Lamar. They want to take a break and say, hey, let's just make sure we settle down and know what to expect. Since the clock had stopped already, you're not giving the Panthers a free timeout there. Probably a great coaching move to do there. This game, exciting. And I'll tell you what, for a 14-point lead, I still got butterflies.
Well,
I mean, there's too many things that can happen quickly.
If they score quickly and get an onside kick.
Here goes the Hawaii 5-0 music one more time by the Panther band. They're trying to do what they can to get the crowd, the players, the coaches, and just some of that mojo mystique going. But right now, it's not looking hopeful for the Panthers. It's looking very hopeful for the Vikings.
Absolutely. 45 seconds, 3rd down and 2. They can get a first down.
Yep. I'll just say this.
That would be all right, too, because that just eats up more time.
I'll just say this. I'd rather be in the situation we're in right now than the Permian situation. Okay, timeout is ended. The team's come back out. It is 3rd down and 2 at the Viking 14-yard line. So far, no one is split wide. Williams is lined up behind Rodriguez. Hammond goes in motion. Rodriguez steps back to throw. He's got some pressure. It's going to be way out of the end zone, incomplete. Again, looking for Harrell. And Jordan Polk is the defender. And there was some pressure coming from the defensive line.
There wasn't a lot he could do.
So now it's 4th down and 2. And obviously a field goal does no good when you're down by 14. So they're going to be going for it.
Number 4 is going to be back.
Yep, Rodriguez comes out of the game. Hammond will line up as the quarterback. You've got twins left and single right.
To the right.
Actually, more single right, single left. Williams lined up behind Hammond. A man in motion. Hammond keeps it, but he's wrapped up immediately. Born in the backfield, number 32, 33, and 35. Let's get those guys.
I know what's going to happen.
So Kylan
shot the gap and was the first to hit him.
Kylan Thompson also in there, and Javion Moore.
Oh, that was
wow. The ball goes over on downs.
Now all we have to do is take a game.
34 seconds.
34 seconds. All we got to do is take a knee once.
And you know what I do like also? It's not just a 7-point win. They've come back in this quarter with the 21 unanswered.
That's right.
This is a power statement against the team that Lamar has never beat before, 4 times losing to him in the playoffs. But I thought it would happen today. I said, if there's a time that they're going to beat these Permian Panthers, this is the year.
This is the year.
With the talent they have. Dawson takes a snap, takes the knee, victory formation, and now there's a flag after the play.
That means we'll have to do it again.
Well, it might be a dead ball. Let's see. They will have to take one more snap because it does stop the clock. And are they going to say that we jumped early. No, illegal formation. Okay, David's spotting that right. It says the receiver was off the line, so we had too many men in the backfield. All right, so they look like they have things set up correctly this time. Here's the snap. Dawson takes it, takes a knee. And they should not have to snap the ball again.
No flags.
22 seconds on the game clock, 36 seconds on the play clock. And the Lamar Vikings. Yeah. So the Lamar Vikings are going to come away with the area round win today. They'll play the winner of Duncanville, Louisville tomorrow. But what an outstanding comeback performance by the Vikings, coming out to the early 21-0 lead and then getting 21 unanswered at the end of the game to not only win it, but win it in dominating style. Now you can see the Vikings, of course, coming out as Coach DeLay always has them do. Good sportsmanship. Some of the Panthers not yet going over for the lineup across the field. That's heartbreaking. But what an incredible finish to this game that seemed closer than it was at the end, because it was a close game all the way through.
What an exciting game.
Wow. Definitely so.
49-35.
Well,
until quarters. Fourth quarter belonged to the Vikings.
Yep, first and fourth. How many points did I say earlier that the Panthers have averaged this season? 48.5. What'd they do today? 49. Right on there. Yeah. No, the offense has averaged 48.5 points a game. They hit 49 today. The Vikings, I'm sorry, yeah. And so they hit their average, and that's what it took to win.
That's what it took. And very impressive defense there in the last quarter as well.
Well, let's say this. Both teams played hard and never, ever gave up. There were some turnovers. There were some penalties that ended up kind of making the difference overall. But when we had to have some of those big pass plays on third down conversions, including a fourth down, it made the difference. And Lamar overcomes the mojo mystique.
And advances. Wow.
Advances to another round. Well, I want to thank Jay Ryan, our executive producer, who was handling all the broadcast technology and troubleshooting from our bunker in an undisclosed location in Arlington, Texas. We had Charlie Frawley and David Frawley helping with spotting. We had Justin Langford helping with the statistics and keeping us straight on all that. It looks like he might be tallying up a couple of things.
Looks like it.
Steve, it was great to broadcast with you again.
It's always a joy.
And we'll have a game in the Metroplex next week because it'll be Duncanville or Louisville. Looks like that we will play.
So it'll be all within driving distance.
Exactly so. Well, what a night! What a day for football! As the Lamar Vikings once again come out victorious with a 21-point first quarter, a 21-point fourth quarter. End it like you started and do it.
And now they're celebrating. Lamar is celebrating.
Yes, they are.
They gathered up and someone said something.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time since round 3, or 2 round 3 since Shane Buechele.
What's that, Charlie? Say it again.
So if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time to round 3 for the Vikings since Shane Buechele.
I think you might be correct.
Yep.
So the likeness you said between Jack Dawson and Shane Buechele earlier definitely comes true, possibly in another way. Well, both teams played hard, played tough. It was a great game and clean. You know, a few penalties, but nothing too bad throughout the game. I think that's going to wrap it up for us, and we got to let the next crew come into this booth for the next game. So once again, for Jay Ryan, Charlie Frawley, David Frawley, Justin Langford, and Steve Langford, I'm Bill Frawley saying VFND.
VFND.